Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto learns Hiraishin and Rasengan during the Chunin exams part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. To erase someone from history, from their present, can have irreparable damage on their future and past. Naruto Uzumaki was trying to defy the laws of chakra yet again and write another page in the 100,000 ways chakra can be used. Years of training to be strong and thereby survive came to their climax, their paragon, with this one technique. The last technique he had. Shadow Clone. Rasengan. Sage Mode. They were all techniques that he expanded on for bigger, badder techniques, bigger, badder forms. His techniques always centered around the idea search and destroy, bash and crash and finish and diminish. The chakra he poured in those techniques were a lifetime's, but none so like this technique. This huge technique started as a concept, a thought in his head, something he pondered about when he viewed his birthright, his father's scroll. The techniques his father had, the knowledge the fourth Hokage put on this scroll, all the required skills for the techniques and all of the exercises done to do so. The Flying Thunder God technique was always one of the techniques he went over. And that's when the training began. It had taken a week to do the Rasengan, but a year to truly master it to the end. He could easily make a clone, shape the chakra, and there was a Rasengan, but he couldn't ever just make a simple one-handed Rasengan without them. His massive chakra could be controlled and tamed ever so much. And with the natural sync of his original chakra and the Nine-Tails chakra made controlling the huge amount of godly chakra tumbling in his body next to impossible. But he knew anything was possible. And so, he waited months on perfecting his chakra, and with his clone's help, in order to control it enough for the Rasengan. The clones did exercises every day for 5 months, but he was told his chakra control was still decent, not good. It was a wonder sometimes how much time he had while the world went to disaster. Almost endless time, while he ran from their eyes. From town, to eventually a remote island far from the eyes of the elemental countries. He had to even run from his last ally, all to not hear the Uchihas kill him. Kakashi Hatake and the rest of them stayed in his heads, all because of the last 2 Uchihas. Which is why every day for the last 5 years he trained and trained until he became completely strong. And be stronger in areas that he could cover. Genjutsu he would never be great in, for it took even better chakra control and higher intelligent levels than he already had. It would make him even stronger to be able to use it, but without Kakashi, he couldn't even try to learn. Medic ninjutsu he had dabbled some in, especially since his chakra control was no longer crude anymore, but he had no prowess like the late Sakura Haruno had. Those 2 had been his weaknesses and he could probably only fix one later one. But for now, he worked crazily on chakra control. 2 clones might have worked on the occasional wind-oriented technique, here and there with the scrolls he had at hand. 5 other clones worked on taijutsu good as well, but nothing like how he was with chakra control. 12 clones climbed trees in the morning, and himself too. 12 clones walked up and down the local waterfall in the afternoon, and himself too. 12 clones balanced a single leaf on their heads in the night, and himself too. Naruto Uzumaki was no joke. But he still believed it meant nothing to defeat his current problems. Madara Uchiha could bend reality to his will, had the world under flames, and Sasuke Uchiha was his right-handed man. Naruto Uzumaki knew he couldn't beat both of them like this. Not like this. So he started working on the Flying Thunder God technique after he finished a year and a half's amount of training to do a simple one-handed Rasengan, a wind-release version, and making and throwing a Rasen Shuriken when he was in his normal form. His father's legendary move was the thing that made this 5 years. The technique demanded his good to be excellent, so he forced more clones to do chakra control exercises. But when 2 more years passed, he grinned to his success. Yondaime Hokage Minato Namake's most greatest technique did not die with him. There were now 2 yellow flashes in history. Naruto Uzumaki could flash from one part of the island to another in milliseconds. Naruto's speed that was already excellent jumped to newer heights. It's funny how everybody who he loved had to die for him to become the strongest ninja of his generation now. But he knew if he went against the Uchiha Armada, he would die as he stood. So he decided that 1 more year would be dedicated to such. And this is what law he was breaking in the usages of chakra, and rewrote a new one. As the sage of the 6 paths wrote. As Madara Uchiha wrote. As Minato Namake's wrote. As Naruto Uzumaki now written down. Naruto Uzumaki was official the first ninja to use space-time ninjutsu to the extreme. 500 hand seals, one shitload of chakra, he joked, and a greater glimmer of hope in him. Naruto's last words in this world was the following: Jikuken ninjutsu, Hiraishin senko. And the yellow flash's sun was no more. It felt weird going around Konohagakure. The stares and glares he was accustomed to all made him feel strangely wanted and gave him a sense of him being here. While he didn't like the heated looks he got from several of the civilians he passed, he got even more stares from some of them, who looked at him with a mixture of pity and even respect. Was it always like this? How come he never seen it? Maybe being 12 at that time just wasn't a time where he sat there and pay attention to the other emotions some civilians sent his way, how some already respected him. He knew he was just too busy promising he would show this village to respect him and love him. That's all he wanted at this age. This was the main reason, at first, why he wanted to be Hokage. Meeting one Haku from the Yuki clan changed that. Haku. He was another person he could save. He could save Haku, Zabuza, create newer allies for what's to come. He could actually do so. Yes, more things to do. More things to look for in this past. He could not just prevent the future from happening, but he could also rewrite history. He could actually do so. While he grinned to himself, pondering about how he could do so, the yellow man, now boy, bumped into another person of his past, Irika Yumino. Irika. And Naruto. Even though I was Irika stopped to let out a ragged wheeze as he choked on the same blood he was leaking out. Even though I always thought I could see you become the Hokage in my time, I always knew I would see you become one of the strongest ninjas I know. But it's time to get even stronger than that, stronger without me being here. Naruto sobbed for his teacher. This would be the second teacher to die that he was greatly affected by. Those last words Irika uttered. Irika Yumino was then tackled greatly by Naruto Uzumaki, whose initially was gonna scold the boy for something. Irika stopped those thoughts as Naruto hugged the life out of him via midsection. Irika-sensei, Naruto said, happily pleased to see Irika's face, much to Irika's surprise as Naruto never really done so before. Naruto. Irika started, but ended up smiling due to the infectious smile on Naruto's face spreading to him. Irika couldn't help but feel happy and wanted as Naruto made it clear that his presence here was welcomed. I'm glad you're glad to see me. Naruto grinned, and rubbed his head in that sheepish manner he always did. You have no idea. So, Irika started as still astonished Naruto was easily packing down his second ramen bowl with ease. You ready for tomorrow? Tomorrow? Naruto dumbly drawled out. What's tomorrow? The genin exams, Naruto. Irika deadpanned. You were spending on all week talking about how you would pass and get out of the ninja academy. Hee, Naruto childishly grinned. Oh yeah, forgot for a sec. Irika shook his head, what am I going to do with you? So, what do I need to do in order to pass? Naruto legitimately forgot what was required. The exams was so far away and a long time to him, but yet, it was coming now, right in front of him. Irika shook his head again, becoming exasperated with the young Naruto. I would think with as much times as you failed the genin exams, Naruto, that you would know what was required. Alright, so what I forgot? Naruto pouted. I'll do much better this time around. Naruto so loudly proclaimed. His yells did turn some heads, including the working Tuchi and Ayam. The two subsequently smiled at Naruto's yells of triumph. Irika smiled, I bet you will. So what I gotta do again? Naruto questioned again. In the exams there is a small written part. Irika ignored Naruto's small groan, about several historical topics, basic knowledge of the three main technique classes, and the explanation of chakra. It's about 30% of your grade. Written test? Naruto groaned, with a small quirk of amusement on his part. That sounds so boring. Why couldn't it just be the physical part of the test? 'Cause it gives people the chance to pass even if they don't do good in some of the physical parts of the test. Ergo, Naruto, you should brush up on some of the dusty books you got at home. Hey! Was the indignant cry of one further embarrassment of Naruto Uzumaki. Geez, I wasn't that much of a slacker in the ninja academy, was I? Sheesh. Irika bit down the feeling to laugh in Naruto's face, but a part of him was being somewhat serious. Then we have the projectile part of the test. It is about 20% of your grade. If you did very good on your written exams, you pretty much can do bad on this, and still overall pass. So, this is the throwing kunai and shuriken stars at the target part of the test? Yes, Naruto. Irika grinned. Pretty self-explanatory. We give you 8 kunai, and 8 shuriken. Hitting 4 kunai and 4 shuriken on the target anywhere is passable. Hitting simply 2 kunai and 2 shuriken in the center is automatically passable. Sounds easy to me. And finally, the technique part of the test. You must be able to do any of the academy techniques we give you, but a predetermined one we would give you is the clone technique, meaning in order to pass, you must do it. Again with this Bunshin no Jutsu crap? Naruto barked at Iruka's response and sighed to himself. I couldn't even do a single freaking clone last time I tried that due to my huge-ass chakra level and abysmal control, but maybe with my current chakra control. Sorry Naruto, but if you can't do Bunshin no Jutsu, and you have no acceptable medic reason on why you can't, then I'm afraid you can't be passed. Even if I do great on the other parts of the exams? Iruka paused after he heard Naruto's question. That was actually a good question. Iruka continued, while yes, if you do great on the other parts, this part of the test makes up the other 50% of your grade. Depending on how flawless you do the other techniques we request, you could still think you would pass, right? Naruto nodded his head. The clone technique is something we taught early in the academy, and if you can't even make a single clone, and many rookies still make mistakes with the transformation and body replacement techniques, if you cannot do the clone technique correctly, and can't do decently on your other parts of the test, why do you deserve to pass? That's why every time you did not too good on your history exams, Naruto, and did passable on the projectile test, your graduation was dependent on knowing the techniques. Naruto grunted in agreement. It seemed to make sense anyway. Iruka smiled, but I have faith in you. I think you can pass. And then with an amusing grin, and a deadpan voice, Iruka said, and get the hell out my class, brat. Naruto laughed. I can't wait to do such that. Don't worry, Iruka-sensei, I'm definitely passing that exam. Iruka smiled genuinely to the boy. Well then, you better get to it then. The brown-haired man then stood from the table, left a generous amount of Ryo on the top for Ayam to pick up, and then moved towards the exit. You got daylight burning, young man. Train, study and sleep well. Sorry about not buying you 5 bowls today, but I think you're better off without it. Plus it saves me some Ryo. You go through my money like nothing, Naruto. Surely the stipend of a Chunin teacher isn't as stellar as A and B you pay. Naruto sheepishly guffawed at Iruka's jokes. Sorry, Iruka-sensei. One day, I'll buy you 5 bowls instead. Iruka put his hands in his pockets, leaving with a small wave of his right hand before doing so. Can't wait for the day. Later, Naruto. And with that Iruka walked off, leaving Naruto to his thoughts again. Naruto left the stand too, after sharing some small talk with Ayam, who was teasing him of his small stature. Naruto really could not wait until his growth spurt kicked in, so he can teasing Ayam on how short she was compared to him. Naruto growled to himself as he tested his chakra control out in an empty field trainees were allowed to use. Forget the nostalgia he has been feeling all day. Having chakra control barely Chunin level sucks so much ass. Naruto found out that yes, he could form the Rasengan, one-handedly without some much of a clone spinning or aiding him with chakra control, but he couldn't even do the wind release version without using 2 clones to spin and add the affinity. And the Rasen Shuriken was definitely out if he couldn't do the wind release. Rasengan now. Screw caring about the fucking clone technique. So the hell what he could that shit now? Now, he couldn't do the Rasen Shuriken off the fly now. It's not that he didn't have the ability to perform it, but it was just why should he even try? He could still probably do it, and all, but since he had no chakra control to do it without clones, and no extra control to even throw it, it was useless trying to do without trying to suffer the damage he would receive from doing it. Even if he had the remnant of the Kyuubi's chakra, he couldn't heal anymore like he could before. The healing factor he had was higher than any regular human had, but none so incredibly fast like a regular Jinchuriki had. Then his chakra control wasn't adapted for medic jutsu, and his advanced healing factor from Kyuubi was severely dampened, so the Rasen Shuriken will probably not be usable for years until his chakra control was good, without using Sage Mode actually. And then he decided to activate Sage Mode, and gasped in the 5 minutes as he collapsed from exhaustion. Good God, he couldn't even go an hour of using it anymore without even feeling fatigue anymore. His body shook in sweat and drenched from it. He was actually tired out from it. His body wasn't his chiseled, hardened 23-year-old self. His body was still young. Fresh but still young and weaker. He was seriously dampened. He wasn't even sure he could even par with Kakashi anymore. Damn. And don't get him started on the Flying Thunder God technique either. Hiraishin required excellent chakra control to the point it was crazy. Last time he heard, Jiraiya, Erosenin tried years doing it himself, and failed even doing it. However, he wasn't Naruto. He couldn't, when he was alive, spammed the shadow clone technique like Naruto could to increase his train progress even faster to a few months. The 2 yellow flashes died. All those years he fermented his body, all those months honing it, all those weeks doing chakra drills from hour to hour. All those days his sweat, blood and tears were what he was accustomed to. Wasted. They died when he decided to discard his present for his past in order to change the future. This did nothing to soothe the yellow young typhoon. Naruto then launched a single Rasengan to a nearby tree and watched the tree crumple to his disdain. He huffed, in a mixture of a scowl, a pout, and a sigh. Looks like I gotta do this over again. Without even doing hand seals, Naruto summoned 12 clones to the left of him and 12 clones to the right of him. Clones to the left, do water walking until dinner. Clones to the right, do tree walking until dinner. What you gonna be doing, Prime? A single leaf dropped perfectly into Naruto's hand and was now placed on his head. Do the leaf concentration technique and study for my test tomorrow until I fall asleep. After those words were uttered, all of the Naruto clones went to do what they were tasked to do. Naruto sighed, and watched the lead stick to his forehead, and then spun it with relative ease. Time to study for my big test. Unbeknown to him, Sasuke Uchiha also used from time to time the same grounds and seed the destroyed that Naruto left in his anger. Not knowing the source, but knowing what he was feeling, Sasuke Uchiha trained harder to destroy 4 more trees in his path. Next morning, Naruto woke up and looked at the blue and orange jacket he had and thought to himself, "You know I love you and all, and you were just basically my attire for battle when I was a genin, but you really would set off a whole lot of traps for me. I need something a little less discreet. I'll go shopping whenever I can in the stores then doesn't quit discriminate against me." Heh. Naruto for now tugged on the warm orange jacket and didn't bother to close the jacket for the probably sunny weather that was gonna be in Konoha, like usual. Very confident in passing the exams, and damn near probably destroying it. No need to hold back. No need to worry about anything. He wouldn't be just overlooked anymore. He wouldn't be weak at all. Not his past, his present, and certain not his future. Well, this is sad, Naruto said, as he sat down in a separately class from everybody else, except 5 other people divided evenly in the size of the room. Naruto sat down, ready with pencil, and looked at his test. And was disappointed. Very disappointed. Everybody got a separate room with 6 total people in the room, excluding the test examiner. Everybody got the same test, the same time, and the same points for each, even him. And he wondered would it have been more a challenge if he was discriminated against. Number 1, what is taijutsu? Wow, Iruka really wasn't kidding. This is extremely boring and almost useless. Naruto quickly jotted down the test in his little own world in the back of the classroom. Number 2, name the 5 elements, and for extra credit, what are affinities? Boring as hell. Naruto again jotted down his answers, but then thought to himself again. Well, now that I think about it, even though this is easy as hell, I'm not having too much trouble with it at all. It would be bad if I did. Naruto then finished off the 6th question of the test, didn't blink about the 7th, and the 8th was done as soon as he knew it. By the time he realized he was on his 20th question, which asked something relatively interesting about what was Yuzu no Kuni now present day, he thought, the land of the whirlpool is no present-day wave country. The land of the waves. God, that brings memories. Can't wait until I see Tazuna and knock some sense into Inari's little ass. Soon Naruto finished his test, and left the room, now learning he was the first out. The others inside were still struggling with their test. Naruto grinned, well, I bet they're mad the supposed dead last finished before they did. A Hinata Hyuga looked at him as he confidently strode out the room, with a look of admiration, and was tempted to run out the room to congratulate him with a kiss, of course. Instead, she was given the desire to finish the test faster. Naruto walked slowly to where he was supposed to go for his projectile part of the test, wondering if he would see Sakura, Ino, or even Shikamaru in passing. Shikamaru, knowing him, would rather sleep the test at the last minute, fill out the answers quickly and leave saying it was a drag. Ino, from what he remembered, was the smartest Kunoichi in the academy, second to his former crush, Sakura only, of course. Ino had her licked in everything else. Sakura definitely was gonna ace the genin exam's written part of the test. She was decent in throwing projectiles and very good when it came in knowing the main techniques the Ninja Academy taught, due to her excellent chakra control and very little chakra. He seriously wanted to see his good friend Sakura though. Not even out for a date. He long got over his crush for her, rather feeling simple platonic love for her. He missed her. Like everyone else, he wanted her death no faster than his own end. But now he could prevent her from dying on him. She could even be stronger than before. And he could help her. He could. Damn, being in the past, despite its cons, were eventually outweighed by its pros. Putting those thoughts aside, Naruto took his time to get to the room for his projectile test. When he got in a seething glaze from the examiner. No doubt because he believed Naruto was QB incarnate, which was even now extremely far from the truth, but in the end, the man couldn't do anything to forge or discriminate against the boy for the exam made him discard his hatred for Naruto for now. This did not mean he would not try to launch the blades at Naruto. The man threw all of the kunai and shuriken at Naruto, but much to his surprise and further despise, Naruto flawlessly caught them. The man grunted out, "Throw your weapons at the target, and then get out, demon." Then the man smirked, "I bet you won't even hit the target at all with them." Naruto grinned back, and with a flick of his wrist, 2 kunai and 2 shuriken stars each hit the center, dead on. "You were saying, sir?" Naruto then simply tossed the last of his projectiles, finger by finger, and all of them unsurprisingly hit the center, further infuriating the Chunin teacher/examiner, who glared hard at the target and then at Naruto. Naruto's grin was the biggest pure shit-eating grin the man ever saw. "I'm finished. I'm guessing I passed that part of the test, right, sensei?" Naruto then decided to turn away from the teacher, deciding to take his leave. Oh, the boy would pass, alright, thought the teacher. But he won't live to tell the tale. The man launched the kunai in a speed an academy student wouldn't even be able to see, let alone dodge. However, Naruto simply brought his hand to his head and grabbed the kunai before it even could touch him. And with speed even he couldn't see, the teacher watched the kunai now lob itself with all of the kunai and shurikens Naruto had. All 17 projectiles were now in the center red circle. The kunai as it flew carried a deadly velocity and force as it collided with the target. The target board sailed to the wall, bouncing off as soon as it hit it. The man stared at the board and started to sweat. Naruto grinned viciously at the man. "Oh, sorry, were you trying to give me extra cred? My fault for being so hasty. Well, I think I'll leave now and get to the chakra part of the exam now." The man sputtered, and then, trying to get some of his wits, yelled out, "Why yeah. Get the hell out my room, you piece of shit demon." Naruto practically slid out the room easily and walking past, without not really even paying attention to who was behind him. Even though Naruto was practically a stupid idiotic pig who has had a perverse streak through him, Ino Yamanaka will never understand why the hell does everybody hate the shrimp. Finally Naruto came in the room where his techniques was to be tested by the ever-so-reliable Irika Yumino and Mizuki. Naruto did not like Mizuki. He never will like Mizuki, and since this was his past and all, he would not ever like Mizuki. It was because of Mizuki that Naruto came close of being stripped of being able to ever become a ninja. It was because of Mizuki Naruto learned the burden he once carried. And it was because of Mizuki that he learned only Irika, Iam and Tuchi truly cared for him, until Kakashi, Sakura, Jiraiya, Tsunade and a few more came around, of course, but still. Mizuki deserved his anger, and he could not get over how much he despised the man, but Mizuki was not getting the satisfaction of making him out as a fool today. Irika breathed easily as Naruto Uzumaki came in, with a face of confidence for him. "Come on, Naruto." "Good day, Naruto Uzumaki. Today, we will ask you to perform 3 simple techniques for us. Judging on how well you execute the techniques, and how much flaws we see in it will determine how we will pass you or not. First technique, show us the transformation technique. You can turn into either me, or Mizuki." Not wanted to turn into Mizuki at all, Naruto easily transformed to another Irika, much to Irika's smile. Naruto's size and stature fit Irika, and Naruto even got the direction of his scar correctly. "Henge, excellent," declared Irika. And Mizuki grinned, adding in his agreement. "Next, body replacement. Replacement yourself with the chair over there." Irika pointed. Naruto flawlessly again did so. Irika smiled even brighter. Mizuki grinned too. "Kawarimi, excellent," Mizuki said after Naruto ended the technique. "I got word that Naruto did great on his projectile test too, so his taijutsu is passable as well." "Better than passable," Irika prided. "We actually can pass him even if he can't do the Bunshin no Jutsu correctly." "Well, better not tell him." "Last technique, do the clone technique." "Alright," Naruto simply said, and then did the necessary seals slowly for them to see, which was almost painful to Naruto. "Hand seals, they are much slower than before. Gotta also work on that." Much to the great surprise of Irika, and possibly the surprise and probably anger to Mizuki, Naruto's clone was not dead and lifeless on the floor like he did in the past. Bunshin, excellent. Congratulations, Naruto Uzumaki. You passed the exams with flying colors. Irika grinned, and patted Naruto on the back. Yes. You can now get the hell out my classes. Hee. Yes. Ha. Naruto Uzumaki cheered, though the victory wasn't really very long as Irika expected. Hell, Irika expected Naruto to be hopping on desks, dancing like hell, but Naruto wasn't. Irika grinned. Irika handed him his headband and watched Naruto take it and wear it with pride on his head. Irika couldn't be even prouder. Naruto has finally matured. Great job, Naruto. Let's celebrate with some ramen. Yeah. Naruto pumped. He honestly roared that ramen was the food of the gods. Mizuki, you can take over? Sure, Irika. Go treat him, Mizuki said. Irika grinned at him as he took his leave and left the room. Mizuki laughed at Naruto's cheerful yells, "Congrats, Naruto." Naruto's pleased demeanor changed to a neutral tone with Mizuki. Thanks, Mizuki. Mizuki raised his eyebrow. You know, Naruto, I think you could be Rookie of the Year this time around. Your scores were the best I've seen well around, possibly even better than Sasuke Uchiha, and you scored flawlessly on the written test. Yeah, I guess I did, eh? Naruto might have seemed to be sheepish and in happiness that Mizuki was praising him. However, Naruto's thoughts were more different. Of course I know what you are planning, Mizuki. You know, even though Irika's not here, I think you deserve to get extra credit. Extra credit? Ha ha ha, really? That sounds awesome. Naruto wisely decided to play coy with Mizuki. Extra credit. Extra credit. Naruto sung. Mizuki laughed heartily. Settle down now. Naruto wisely listened to his teacher. So how do I get this extra credit? Mizuki shushed him. Shoo. Now, Naruto, extra credit doesn't come if you shout it out now. Hee, sorry. Mizuki grinned. I'm glad for your enthusiasm. Now listen, this test will test your speed, timing and stealth. It's an extra credit quest that is administered by all academy teachers. All you gotta do is the following. In the past, and he still wants me to do the same thing. Too good. This is just too good. Mizuki said what? He said in order to receive extra credit, all I gotta do is steal the scroll of seals, and bring it to him by 7 tonight. Naruto innocently said, smiling up at Irika. Naruto, instead of letting Mizuki have everybody scapegoat him for being tricked into stealing the scroll again, went straight to Irika's usual spot, Ichiraku's, and told him what Mizuki's extra credit quest was. Mizuki, that Irika seethed. I shoulda known he was a traitor. And he was trying to bait in an academy student so he could take the fall? So it's not extra credit that every teacher does? Naruto asked, confused on why Mizuki would lie to him. Why would Mizuki-sensei lie to me? I really don't know, Naruto, but thanks for coming to me first instead of doing the quest yourself. Irika really sighed in relief. I fear what would have happened if he didn't come to me first to brag about the quest. So no extra credit? Naruto sighed. Irika patted Naruto on the head. The extra credit here is that you get 5 bowls of ramen today and next payday comes, alright, Naruto? Yay! Naruto yelled, ramen! 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 Irika laughed much more easier at Naruto's antics. However, keyed in when Naruto started talking again. Hey, Irika-sensei? Yeah? You know, I haven't done pranks in a while now, Naruto said. Yeah, it's been a good 2 weeks since I last caught you, Irika said, still priding himself as the only one, out of the Jounin and the Chunin, and even the ANBU to catch Naruto Uzumaki without even having trouble. Hey, can I do one more prank? What? No. Are you serious? Last time, you tried blowing up the Yandame's face with exploding tags. Irika bellowed. But it'll be the last one this time, Naruto whined. No. Arg, what the hell you want to do now, brat? Play a trick on someone. Oh, I feel bad for the soul who would get pranked then. Irika shook his head and dived back into his miso ramen. Well, how about Mizuki-sensei? What you say? Irika was surprised again. Naruto grinned to himself, vicious. Gotcha. How about we trick Mizuki-sensei like he tried to trick me? We can get him back for trying to get the scroll. Naruto, that's. Yeah, I know it's a bad idea, but we can still have. Let's do it, Iruka suddenly said. What? Naruto played surprised. Let's go and prank him. Can't believe I ever say the word prank again and want to do it to someone. Awesome. And I got a plan too. Oh? You. Planning? As if him passing flawlessly today was a great surprise. A great pleasure to him, but still a surprise nonetheless. Hey, shut up. Naruto yelled, honestly annoyed. Geez, it's like everybody in this goddamn village thinks I'm too stupid to plan shit. Listen to my plan, damn it. Iruka chuckled. Sorry, Naruto. Just playing a little. Now run that plan by me. You know, this ain't a stupid plan at all, Iruka inwardly said as he was searching for one Naruto Uzumaki, knowing fully well Mizuki was on his way too. Actually, this is pretty damn slick. Naruto grinned, looking down at the scroll of seals. Iruka swooped down. Naruto gasped out, Iruka-sensei, he grinned and laughed, so you caught me, eh? Iruka rapped his knuckles on Naruto's head and applied some pressure. You fool. You got the whole village looking after you. What the hell were you thinking? Naruto grinned. It's all good though, Iruka-sensei. Don't you know? This is the extra credit quest Mizuki-sensei said to do. Iruka narrowed his eyes. Mizuki-sensei said what to you? There's no extra credit quest. Naruto blinked, but Mizuki-sensei said I can get extra credit if I steal the Mizuki-sensei. Naruto called out, seeing Mizuki on the tree above Iruka-sensei and him. Said man, with a Fuma shuriken on his back, grinned down at Naruto and Iruka. This is just too perfect. Excellent work, Naruto. Now, the scroll of seals, hand it to me. Iruka growled, traitor. No. Naruto, don't hand him the scroll. Huh? Why? The extra credit, Naruto, Mizuki said once more. There isn't any. Iruka bellowed. Don't listen to him, Naruto. Mizuki frowned at his former fellow teacher, and had an evil smile plastered on his face, suddenly. Hey, Naruto. You know, I'll tell you something even better than extra credit. Be better than extra cred? What? What? Naruto energetically said. Iruka frowned. Wait, what he would be telling Naruto? Unless his eyes widened, the prank being forgotten. Wait, no. Naruto, want to know why everyone hates you in this village? Naruto blinked, playing the boy he once was when Mizuki first told him this. Why do they hate me? Iruka's eyes widened. He was telling him that. No, Mizuki, you can't. Mizuki laughed. 12 years ago, the Kyuubi attacked the village and was told to be defeated and killed. However, the fourth Hokage couldn't kill it. It had to be sealed into a baby. Around that time. Naruto blinked. A law? Mizuki nodded, the evil smirk reaching the height on his. Yes, brat. A law that said that nobody was allowed to reveal that Naruto Uzumaki is the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Iruka growled, you bastard. You're a traitor and a liar. Iruka-sensei's right. Mizuki looked back at Naruto with confusion. What? You said the nine-tailed fox was sealed inside a baby. Naruto neutrally said back. This really didn't faze him. Mizuki was an idiot back then, and now he was twice the fool. That's right, and? So how could I be the Kyuubi no Kitsune, if it was sealed inside me? Naruto defiantly argued back, ignoring Iruka's incredulous look. You're a fool. A fool who's too stupid to realize that maybe me and Kyuubi are two separate entities. There isn't even a nine-tailed fox anymore anyway. He added himself at the end. Mizuki sputtered, while Naruto rose with a kunai to his face. It's over for you, Mizuki. You lose here. Mizuki then laughed his shock off, just like a demon. Yes, accept what you are. You can't beat us. Ha, you and Scarboy here? Mizuki sneered, I can kill you in my sleep, Ninetails. Naruto smirked, there isn't any way to beat you. No, you fool, now die. Mizuki then fell from the tree mysteriously. A clone stood up from the tree, who simply chopped Mizuki in the back of the head. Yeah, Naruto plays dirty. Iruka looked in awe. A clone can't do that. That was a shadow clone. Then, he glared at Naruto, you actually stole the scroll? Well, old man Sarutobi gave me a copy of the scroll of seals and I figured since you were busy trying to find me, hell, I learned a technique or two. In all honesty, Naruto did make a copy, at least to cover why he had the technique, but Sarutobi didn't know. The plan went smooth. Tell Sarutobi what happened. Lead Mizuki to the spot. Make him think that he had the upper hand. Beat him. Turn him in. Go home, and train your ass off. Sarutobi smiled. Well, thank you for telling me this about Mizuki, but wouldn't it be easier to simply let my ANBUs deal with him? Naruto grinned back. Nah. I say we take care of him ourselves. We got this, old man, no problem. Sarutobi laughed slightly. Well, I say this is one of the only of your pranks I approve of you, my boy. You have my full permission to do what you see fit, but do bring Mizuki back alive and in relative good health. Naruto. Yeah, Iruka-sensei? Naruto was further greeted with a hug from his teacher. You're not a monster, Iruka said, tears brimming down his eyes. You're Naruto Uzumaki, just the jailer of the Kyuubi. You're not him. I know. Naruto smiled. Thanks, Iruka-sensei. Seriously though, we have come to a part of our lives when where we don't fit anymore, Naruto said to his orange jacket, who was just laying on his bed, silent as ever. Naruto sighed. You're supposed to be with Naruto Uzumaki, not me. Naruto, however, threw on the warm jacket and pants he had. He seriously needed to shop. Well, maybe after his teams get picked today, he would go down to the shopping district of Konoha and go search for a shop that didn't discriminate against him. Oh, shops had never again done so after everybody knew Naruto defeated pain. Everybody, except the few shrewd too stuck in their ways, of course, had earned a newfound reverence, love and downright worship of Naruto Uzumaki. There was even a day dedicated to the defeat of pain by Naruto. The only festival he went to. It was a little annoying to be back to this old hatred he felt from the people because of the former entity that was the Kyuubi. Every time he would get a glare from a shopkeeper watching the little yellow head pass by, Naruto amusingly gave the owner an one-finger salute and walked closer and closer to the academy. In the small of his eyes, he seen something that should have been the mark-out funniest thing of the year. Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka were racing to the academy, no doubt to get a seat next to heartthrob Sasuke Uchiha. Back then, he would have been said to hear Sakura thought Sasuke to be cuter to him, but from what it's worth, he really didn't care anymore. Well, at least until she got picked on his team. If she got picked on his team. Not like before when he knew he had poor grades on tests, and poor grades in general in the academy. Naruto never did excellent like he did yesterday on his test. Hell, if Mizuki wasn't lying, he could well be Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year? He thought with a scoff. As much as he hated the derogatory word, dead last, Rookie of the Year was simply a stupid title that meant nothing in the real world outside Konoha. As if he needed that title to feel good about himself, like the egotistic braggart that was Sasuke Uchiha at this point. Man, he really didn't like Sasuke Uchiha as much he thought he did, he joked. Sasuke was a brat back then, and he had no reason to be one, even if he understood why he adopted such an unbearable attitude. Even if Itachi killed off all of his family, he could understand why he wanted to avenge clan now more than in the past. Ironic, isn't it? But the ordeal should have humbled the Uchiha scion instead of turned him. If Sasuke wasn't a power-hungry, jealous little boy, Naruto wouldn't even worry about that Madara Uchiha. And that's why he would do everything in his power to stop him. But still, Rookie of the Year? Me? Ha! I got bigger plans to deal with, like beating Madara to the ground and being Hokage. Naruto snickered as Sakura and Ino fought to get into the door. When Sakura came in, a memory of her slapping him out the way to get to Sasuke, let alone sit down next to him, made him groan. He immediately moved the hell out the way of the Hellcat, and let her do the hell she wanted to do. Geez, he couldn't wait until Sakura blossomed into a younger Tsunade. He would seriously not miss the puppy-love schoolgirl Sakura was. On second thought though, he seriously did not miss the punches either. Younger Tsunade would have to wait in line patiently like his Raisin Shuriken. Naruto moved as Sakura and Ino fought over the seat next to the Uchiha, who sat at the wall of the aisle. He then tried to go sit down, next to whoever, but suddenly very annoyed when Shikamaru saw him walking up to the top of the class and asked, like an ass, why was he here? See this, ass? It's my headband symbolizing I passed the genin exams. Naruto growled out in sarcasm. Troublesome. Shikamaru sighed, laying his head back down and going back to sleep. Seems like they let even dead last pass the exams, right, Akamaru? Kiba interjected, in the aisle across from where Shikamaru's was at. The dog barked in response to Kiba's question. Explaining why they let you pass, Kiba? Naruto smartly said back. I guess they've been too tired seeing a 3-year failure in the academy. Kiba smirked. Naruto grinned back, and said back cattily, like they were too tired of your stink mud odor kibbles? You son of a bit, Kiba started, cocking his fist back. Sit down, and shut up before I decide to keep you too, and Iruka finally said, as he entered the classroom. Both promptly shut up and sat down calmly in seats, Kiba sitting next to Hinata Hyuga, and Naruto sitting not too far from Choji Akimichi. Kiba and Naruto truly annoyed him with their childish bickering and fighting in the classroom. Always disrupted his lessons. Thank God they were leaving today. Now, on to more pressing matters. As of today, you are all graduates of the academy. A majority of the class yelled in genuine relief, bliss, and excitement. Iruka laughed at their pleasure. Settle down now, settle down. Yes, you're graduates of the academy now, but always know as you leave here, remember what you came here for. You came to be ninjas, to serve the village and its people and have both a body and mind that will not yield from learning. As you leave, leave with the will of fire. The will of fire, that old saying, Naruto said to himself. Nostalgia never ceased to come back to him. Now, Iruka said, departing from his heartfelt speech. You'll be assigned into teams of 3 and assigned to a Jounin teacher. There are 12 teams this year. That's pretty good, considering last year. Iruka's announcement of teams that weren't Team 7 fell on deaf ears. He waited patiently to hear Team 7's members clearly. Team 7's members this year is Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha, and... This is it. This is it. And Kiba Inuzuka. Your teacher is Kakashi Hatake. Iruka Umino finally announced. Oh, and just like that, his history had been changed. They waited until Kurenai Yuhi came to pick them up, with Kakashi's new Team 7 waiting only across the room and Asuma Sarutobi's Team 10. Then a few minutes after Iruka left, and the other groups of teams started to leave, Kurenai picked them up, before Asuma came to pick his team or Kakashi's. It felt strange not being a part of Team 7, stranger than what it felt when he was still trying to get Sasuke Uchiha back to the Leaf. Even when Sasuke left to pursue power and vengeance, he still believed in Team 7. He still believed Sasuke to be a part of Team 7. What happened to Kakashi? Didn't Kakashi want him to be his student? Surely he knew Naruto was the 4th son. Or maybe was it because Sasuke was the last Uchiha and Kakashi technically was the only active Sharingan user in Konoha and Sarutobi felt Kakashi was needed to keep Sasuke in check? Or maybe simply Kurenai Yuhi simply wanted him to be a part of the team? He didn't know, but he pretty much was sitting there, pouting and pondering on why did fate change hands? Suddenly, Naruto realized what he told Neji. Destiny and fate is what you made of it with your decisions and actions, not what was predetermined as such. He gotta keep telling himself that he wasn't the same as before. He wasn't Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who wanted Sasuke Uchiha back, but Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who came for another try at life. He didn't have any personal reasons on why he did not like Team 8. Frankly, Hinata Hyuga in the future became a dear friend of him up until the end. He never even got to see her off before he even left. And here he was, ignoring the girl who probably just got enough courage to ask him what's wrong. She probably thinks I'm depressed I'm not on Sakura's team. I'm okay, Hinata. Naruto warmly said to her with a nice smile. Thanks for asking. The girl nodded meekly, unable to look him in the eyes anymore, blushing crazily in front of him. Naruto almost chuckled at the sight. Funny how the Hinata he remembered was a tempest of deadly strikes and power, being able to still blush in front of him like a puppy. This Hinata would be no different, would be a strong warrior right before he could say anything else different. Naruto never forgot how Hinata Hyuga told him that she loved him. The feeling wasn't mutual or anything, but it had made him warm, warmer than anything he had ever felt before. Before then, nobody had told him they loved him before, no one. Jiraiya and Tsunade loved him, but they never told him that. Iruka's brotherly for him was palpable, but never did he ever say such a thing. Not Tsuchi, Ayame, Sakura, or Kakashi had said so. He had felt warm when she said that. He wouldn't forget. Sadly, however, he could not return any feelings for her, no matter how much he would like. He loved her instead, but maybe Hinata Hyuga would be someone he would fall for. Yeah, she would, but not any time sooner. Not when he had work to do. That's why he didn't say anything back. It was cruel to her that he didn't say anything back, but it would be cruel for him to go on and get her when the world was in flames. Shino Aburame was a cool guy. Very quiet, but very strong and intelligent, though it still probably held no candle to Shikamaru's tactical mind. He had no hatred for Naruto, no desire to say anything snippy back, and he wasn't arrogant. All he was frankly neutral towards Naruto, at least until Shino heard of some of the things Naruto did after the Chunin exams. Respectful towards Naruto Shino has always had, and that Naruto liked more than most of the other people he interacted with in the Konoha 11. Kurenai Yuhi was someone he didn't especially care about since he never had a huge connection with her, but after Asuma died, he and Shikamaru both made sure they properly visited her little baby boy, though Shikamaru more than him anyway. He always took Asuma's death as his own. The man spent time out to help him with his wind affinity, and he ended up dying after it. Naruto wouldn't forget that. Kurenai had waved her fingers at the children and asked them come with her. So, your teammate, huh? I'm Kurenai Yuhi, Genjutsu specialist, and I'm gonna be your jounin for the next few years. I'll be quick and right to the point. This is my first year with Genin but my second time tutoring such youngsters like you three. So how about I get to know you better? Hobbies, what fields you specialize in and what fields you want to specialize in, and then finally your desires in life. We'll start with you. She pointed to Shino. Shino quietly spoke up in a melodic voice. My name is Shino Aburame. I specialize in my clan's insect techniques, and I do not what else field I want to specialize in. My hobbies are collecting more bugs to my current collection, and my desire is to become a clan leader. Kurenai smiled at Shino and threw a glance at Hinata. You, Hyuga-san? And my name is Hinata Hyuga, but you already knew that, Kurenai-san. I specialize in my clan's techniques though, I'm not good at it. This earned a frown from Kurenai and the same from Naruto. Shino's expression hadn't changed. I don't know what field do I want to specialize in, but I want to be able to make people proud of me. Hinata shot a small glance at Naruto Uzumaki, who stared back at Hinata Hyuga intensely. Hinata squeaked and averted from Naruto's glance. Kurenai sighed. Don't worry, Hinata. We'll get you some confidence. She herself glanced shortly at Naruto, which he easily picked up. So that's why she wanted me on the team. She knows Hinata's crush on me, and I would be a great boost in her confidence if I'm here. Naruto concluded to himself. And you, boy? Kurenai said last to him. Naruto decided to play loud and boisterous. Hey! Naruto Uzumaki here. I specialize, I guess, in making clones. This gotten curious glances from Hinata and Shino. Kurenai's expression did not change. But I wanna specialize in just about everything. Ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu. I wanna do it all. Kurenai smiled after the genjutsu part. My hobbies is training, making ramen and eating ramen, but my dream is to one day be the strongest ninja in my village. No Hokage now? Kurenai asked, amused by Naruto's cheer expression. Maybe that, but I'd rather be the strongest to protect my people. Naruto closed his eyes and gently smiled. Kurenai chuckled when she saw Hinata's eyes shine in awe of the boy, and she seen that Shino even had a ghost of a small smile on his face. Well, she would hope, as she couldn't see under his coat. I like all of your dreams, and so, I'll make you achieve them the best way possible. I'll be frank and tell you why I chose you three to be my students this year. I want a team to specialize in speed, stealth, tracking, intelligence, and power. Hinata, with your Byakugan, you can scout enemies from afar. Shino, with your bugs, you can share information about the enemy's location and even tag bugs on your enemies to know their locations. So, what about me? I don't have any special tracking skills at all. Naruto asked Kurenai. All I have is clones. And that's exactly why you do have tracking skills. Your special kind of clones can interact with your surroundings much better than the simple clone technique, and you can make hundreds of them at once. They can also fill up a forest, and they can easily sweep the forest for enemies. Also, as bonus, they can even share memories and info with you, the moment you dispel them. Kurenai responded, also telling Naruto what he already knew. And you do want to learn moves from every main technique class, isn't that right? Seeing Naruto's nodded, she continued, add in an ability to track and censor out the opponent, and you can be the team's censor. Can't go wrong with that, or you could anything else you like. Whatever you want. That goes the same for you too. She nodded at Hinata Hyuga and Shino, who both was pondering what kind of clones Naruto had that could interact with their surroundings, let alone make 100 of them. Let's do some taijutsu drills at the training grounds we're assigned to. Come along. And so they did that. Kurenai looked to the side, as she observed all three train together using taijutsu. Hinata seemed to be either the most balanced of the three or a close second. Her taijutsu strikes were fast, precise, and dangerous, obviously, but Hinata possibly chose to lower her power and speed in most of her strikes against Shino and Naruto. She was adept in the gentle fist style, although she probably didn't try to show it. The girl lacked too little of confidence in herself to strike with the intention to hurt. She had precision on her side, but dampened her own speed and power. Shino's taijutsu was good, but nothing worthwhile or shocking. It was simple and showed signs of not diverting from the academy's taijutsu for now. Still, When he struck hard and could easily defend himself against Hinata and Naruto. His speed was well above Academy student speed, probably crossing in the Hiraishin territory, but was slightly slower than Hinata. He at least showed more speed than Hinata in her attacks, but he didn't. Naruto's taijutsu was probably the most bizarre display of frenzied attacks. When he cocked his left fist, he attacked with his right. When he cocked his right fist, he attacked with his left. And sometimes, he cocked both of his fists and attacked with his feet. Most of his strikes did hit Shino and Hinata, but something told her he was dampening power and possibly even speed when it came to striking his opponents. She didn't think it was a confidence problem like Hinata, but more like he was holding back. She didn't know why he would. He was not afraid to use every part of his body to attack. From his fingers to his toes, from one elbow to another, Naruto attacked with every part of him, and not just one concentrated part like Hinata or Shino. His off-the-wall attacks were highly unpredictable. He also used his surroundings to attack the opponent. Naruto would bounce off a tree to land attacks if he had to. Then his stamina was also the largest of the three, making him last longer than the two. Although Hinata seemed to be the obvious taijutsu specialist of the group due to her Hyuga blood, Naruto definitely was adept in fighting as well, despite not having any clan or family members or anything. Next was ninjutsu. Kurenai urged them to show some of their techniques. Shino seemed the greater one of that area. While it was true Naruto wielded the shadow clone technique, a technique that make a shitload of clones, as Naruto said, she knew Naruto lacked more techniques in his arsenal, and lacked control from what she knew anyway, much to the amusement of one Naruto Uzumaki. Shino showed about quite an amount of techniques, and his bugs themselves counted as a technique. Hinata had no outside ninjutsu techniques aside from the transformation, clone, and rope escape technique, to which were good but not enough to show adept she was with ninjutsu. She also knew how very few Hyuga members go out their ways to learn other techniques other than their bloodline techniques. She knew they had no ability in genjutsu, so she decided to test something else. 3 kunai landed by their feet. Here. Use these kunai to mark how far you get up the tree. What are we doing, Kurenai-sensei? A chakra control exercise, Naruto-kun. Kurenai answered. Chakra control? What's that? Naruto asked, not afraid to ask any questions about something he didn't understand. Chakra control is the ability to conserve and control your chakra. This concept was thought up a long time ago. Too many rookie ninjas long ago poured too much chakra into their techniques, and so died by chakra exhaustion. Which came the invention of hand seals to help you control your techniques much better. However, most of the time it wasn't enough, thus came several chakra control exercises. If you pour too much chakra in your attacks without second though, these days there are ways around it, but it would leave you severely tired and weakened. Your enemies will not hesitate after watching you waste your chakra in an attack. And you won't have chakra always at your disposal. Kurenai did take a second to glance at Naruto. His chakra is massive, even without using the Kyuubi's chakra, but he does need better control over his chakra it seems. The Kage Bunshin's effect on him may be nullified due to his larger chakra level, but he still needs better chakra control if he wants to learn other ninjutsu. Naruto nodded and stared at the kunai. Well, besides the clones at home training and do chakra control exercises on my ceiling, this should also help my chakra control. So we run up and that's it? Naruto asked, how do we do the technique? Maybe a demonstration will come in handy. Kurenai said easily, as she walked up the tree. Putting a foot to the trunk and then her other, she showed what the exercise was doing. Her feet was firmly sticking to the bark and did not falter. This is what you got to do. Apply chakra to your feet and it will work. However, you need a certain amount applied to your feet. Too little, and you fall off. She demonstrated, and she started to fall off the tree. However, she landed on her feet. Then she again walked up to the tree. Too much, and this will happen. She applied more chakra and then suddenly she bounced off the tree, breaking the bark on the tree. She again landed on her feet. That is why you must put the right amount of chakra in your feet. Oh, cool. I'm definitely gonna ace this. Naruto boasted, bringing a small smile from Hinata and Kurenai. Well, if there is no further questions, get to it, students. Kurenai said, grinning at them. Hinata took a tree in between Shino's and Naruto's. She glanced in Naruto's direction, and managed to squeak out, good luck, Naruto-kun, Shino-kun. Shino nodded and Naruto grinned, definitely. Same for you and Shino. I expect you two at the top. Shino simply announced. Naruto could get used to the not-so-arrogant boy. Ready? Go! Kurenai watched all three race up the tree, and was pleased to see all three ran up and reached the top. She was not surprised to see Hinata and Shino make it up there with ease, but to see Naruto up there too? members of the Hyuga clan already have natural good chakra control due to their average amount of chakra, and Aburame already teach their young chakra control exercises to keep themselves from being devoured from the insides by their bugs. But one thing I don't understand is why Naruto is up there? His chakra levels are huge. Also, judging from his questions before, it doesn't seem like he knew what chakra control exercises were unless he did, and I judged too quick. Well, let's see something else. Wow, I didn't think you guys would get it so quick. Karina yelled from the ground she stood on, looking up at the three on the top branches of the tree, either sitting like Hinata was or standing like Shino and Naruto was. Looks like you three have good chakra control. However, let's see how good it really is. Everyone get down. The three followed Karina until they saw a nearby river near the main hub of the training grounds. She grinned. Alright, wasn't gonna do this on the first day of us training, but since you three sped through the tree exercise so easily, I think we try something else. Like? Naruto asked. Like the water surface walking exercise this time. Water walking? Hinata timidly asked this time around. Karina grinned, that's right. This exercise is also a chakra control exercise, but it's much more harder than the tree walking exercise. In this one, you do the opposite of what you do with the tree exercise. Water is like life. It shifts and it moves about. In order to do this exercise, you must emit a constant amount of chakra from your feet, but be ready for movement. The slightest ripple is the slightest movement. You must change the amount of chakra then. It will shift from high, with a huge amount of ripples, to low, with the smallest amount of ripples. Demonstrated as here. Karina smiled, as she stood up on the water, perfect. Do too much, you will fly off. Do too little, and you will sink. If you do this to the point of mastering it, you'll be so used to the change in chakra that you won't even feel a thing. Karina watched with some sick satisfaction as Shino Aburame dropped into the water. Seeing the stoic boy sputter out the water and spiting out liquid out his mouth and nose, Karina laughed a little. Don't rush into it now. Take your time. Hinata, the less confident of the team, approached the water in a more cautious manner. Gingerly stepping on the surface of the water, which felt flat to her, she reached out again with her other foot. Soon, she was standing on the water surface. However, putting her 2 feet down had created ripples, and Hinata's expression was almost close to a panic. No, it was a panic. Hinata Hyuga, unfortunately, fell in, next to the spot Shino just did. Shino dragged himself out the water, soaked. Karina laughed cheerfully at Shino's hard look. Oops, maybe I should have told you guys to take off clothing you weren't willing to get wet. Maybe you should do that, Naruto. Unfortunately, much to the disappointment to a certain wet Hyuga, Naruto shook his head and stuck his tongue out to his teacher. Nah, Kurenai-sensei. I'm definitely not gonna need to. Confidence will be your downfall, Naruto-kun. Kurenai shook her head. Not this time. Naruto smirked, and Kurenai watched in amazement as Naruto didn't stand or even walk on the river, but damn near skated on the water surface. Who? Look at me, Kurenai-sensei. Good God. How is he doing that? On his first try? Is he a chakra control genius or something? Wasn't he ranked dead last in the academy? No way a dead last would be able to do this on his first try. Beginner's luck towards the trees, but water walking takes days, sometimes weeks for fresh genin. The fact that Naruto was surfing on the water surface told her he couldn't have been just what meets the eyes. In her eyes, she was a simple, naive boy who might become what he wants to be with years of training, but what he was doing now was something almost at a genius level. Na Naruto-kun, wow, Hinata sang as she made it back to shore, in awe again today. Even Shino was looking at Naruto with awe and some understandable jealousy, although none so much like a certain Uchiha would feel at this point. Naruto Uzumaki, strange. You have never showed this skill in the academy. Kurenai looked at her students take their leave, but looked at the spot Naruto Uzumaki left from. He's better than what I expected. When she thought on how she got Naruto Uzumaki onto her team, she thought how much of a steal it was. Hopefully it paid off. Seemed like it anyway. Hokage-sama, if you may let me, I wish to take Naruto Uzumaki, Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburame under my wing. This earned a surprised glance from Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage. Oh? And pray tell, why would you want to do so? I want this new team I have this year to specialize in tracking, control, and stealth. The Byakugan is perfect in locating, reading, and tracking enemies. Aburame clan members specialize also in locating and tracking with their bugs as well. What about Naruto, Kurenai? Naruto has a boundless potential should he use it wisely. He could be a great tracker, as the shadow clone technique can not only make clones to interact with its surroundings but also share information with each other as soon as the user dispels the clones. If he ever gotten better chakra control, think on how powerful he could be. Sarutobi smiled, and nodded. Well, since Kakashi isn't even here to try and fight to get Naruto, you will be able to take him, Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburame under your wing. Do train them to the best of your ability, Kurenai-san. Kurenai smiled back, happy at her victory. Thank you, Hokage-sama. So, Kurenai-san, are you happy with your new team? I figured this team was much better suited for your taste than last year's, Sarutobi said, taking the pipe out of his mouth. Yes, Hokage-sama. I am very pleased with this team, very pleased, Kurenai said, with a small smile. Oh? Hokage Sarutobi asked. Yes, they did much better than expected. Do tell. They have solid taijutsu skills, good ninjutsu skills for genin, and much better chakra control than I first expected. They even got the tree exercise on the first try. Oh really? Sarutobi said with a smile. These generations I seen in my lifetime do keep getting stronger and stronger these days. You don't know. I mean, on the first try. But that wasn't the greatest part. No? Sarutobi's eyebrow quirked. What was? Naruto Uzumaki has the best chakra control I seen in most genin, and even in the Chunin levels. He did tree exercises and water walking so easily. Almost like was a genius. Kurenai exclaimed, still shocked that Naruto of all people did all that. Naruto did all that. Sarutobi pondered. Very interesting. Naruto didn't show signs of being a genius before, although because of his pranks, I have seen a lot of holes in our securities and he hasn't caught by any of my people, even my ANBU. Something even tells me that he knew how to do water walking and tree walking exercises from the beginning. But how could that be? Genin aren't supposed to know that. Kurenai gasped again to herself, while Sarutobi took this time out to take a drag out his pipe and blow out hot smoke. Very interesting, that Naruto. He never ceases to surprise me. Sarutobi's raspy chuckle was loud enough for the red-eyed beauty, Kurenai Yuhi. But I think genius is a word that could never apply to Naruto. Hokage-sama? Kurenai questioned, confused at the suddenly insult at Naruto. Naruto is much better than a genius because a genius lacks the experience and life Naruto has dealt with. Naruto has shown that with hard work, he could surpass the stereotypical word genius and make something better of himself. Sarutobi grinned to her. I will admit that years of Naruto pranking has spotted out glaring holes in our systems of security, and if he wanted to, he could have just stolen anything from any place without anyone knowing such. He is our #1 most surprising ninja for a reason. The day he ceases to amaze me would be the day I cease to exist. Sarutobi laughed to himself. I'm hoping I do see Naruto become a great man before my time though. We already had the 4th Hokage. Naruto's potential is as great as the 4th was. Kurenai was shocked at Sarutobi's praise. Yes, Naruto was definitely not what a dead last was, but to compare him to the Yondaime? This early? Sarutobi spoke to Kurenai again as he took his pipe and set it down next to him on his desk. He looked into her, and smiled. Perhaps you should try to keep this team, Kurenai-san. I think they have a storm brewing ahead of them. There has been very small things in his life that could piss him off. Someone talking shit about his Ika Ika books. Someone stealing his Ika Ika books. Someone trying to replicate his Ika Ika books. But something like this was almost as bad as someone killing his favorite author. Naruto Uzumaki was stolen from him. Just stolen. And Sarutobi let it happen, he just let it happen. The boy was his to teach, not Kurenai Yuhi's. Goddamn Obito's freaking habits. Goddamn it to hell. The day he was actually helping a woman from the other side of Konohagakure deliver a package to the land of the wind on one hand was the day Kurenai swooped in, took him in and took him from his grasp. His manly grasp. And now, Kurenai was probably doing filthy things with him now, with Hinata Hyuga tagging up. He knew the physiology of those Hyuga. He knew of their voluptuous curves and creamy skin and how the gentle fist could be used in many ways that would hurt first but be awesome in the end. Damn Kurenai! Damn her! And then she stuck him with them. Good God, a stink mutt, with a loud mouth and a cheap mouth he just couldn't stand. And then the fucking fangirl with the worst, god-awful amount of hair color he saw in his fucking life. Oh God. But they weren't even the worst of it. No, one arrogant Sasuke Uchiha made having a fangirl and a wet mutt fun. Sheesh, at least they acted like they feared him. Mr. High and Mighty made going to every team meeting fun. Which is why he left his house 5 hours after he needed to be there. Meanwhile, while he was needed to his team, He took extended walks around the village and actually found where Naruto Uzumaki trained at in the spare time he didn't not have at Kurenai's meetings. It took one glance at what Naruto was doing and he was shocked when he saw the boy training. Or boys. Naruto had 12 clones in each sections. 12 were tree climbing, 12 were water walking, and 12 were doing the leaf concentration exercise. And he was doing it so perfectly. Kage Bunshin too? Why was he not briefed on the boy's skills? How could he actually be able to do that with no drawback? He had that much chakra? No. Alright, that's it. That is it. He would train this boy, he would train him, take him from Kurenai. He would in due time. Even if he had to kill to get him. But for now. Hey kid. Name's Kakashi Hatake, wanna learn something new? The heart, one of the 8 vital parts of the body, interesting. The heart is a vital part of the body, giving life to those. With any major organ, this one is one of the most important and the most sensitive to chakra. There are more than 20 Tenketsu chakra nodes around the heart, more than any vital organ or regular part in their body, making a total of staggering 45 nodes. This makes the Hyuga gentle fist fighting style especially dangerous. The heart is also susceptible to several techniques that not only attack the heart, but can even track an enemy's movement. Interesting, I never took in consideration to read this crap, but actually, it's much more interesting than I thought. The heart is susceptible to several techniques that can track and damage the heart that's outside the gentle fist? So, if I can devise a technique that could track someone by their heartbeat, no one could even hide from me. Naruto grinned to himself. Oh, think of the possibilities. And that itself can't keep me from any person. Something like that will be easy to come up with anyway. Naruto had the right chakra control, the right amount of chakra. Of course he had that, and the right execution. He could be great at something Kurenai wanted him to excel in. Naruto always thought sensors-type ninjas were pretty damn good in their own right. His Sage mode had the foundations of sensing chakra, but none so like those sensor-type ninjas he encountered. He could definitely search and destroy any of his enemies. And Kurenai-sensei was right. His clones could very easily fill up a forest. Add to a technique that could very easily find any incoming ninjas due to their need to be alive and well, he would be dangerous to any foe, so as long they didn't know he was coming anyway. He was still wondering how could he even make a technique to do such a thing. He then found something very helpful. Something almost down the lines of the very thing that could help him devise such a technique. A book. Deus Ex Machina. It had been a very eventful month, and Kurenai Yuhi couldn't believe her luck sometimes. Of all the things she wanted in her life, was a student who she could share her techniques with. None of her former students, except one, much to her awkwardness, had even an aptitude in genjutsu. Their chakra amounts were good and all, but their areas in chakra control was too abysmal for her to even teach them it. And here she had a boy that could run backwards on that river again, and then up a freaking waterfall. Kakashi just got a huge fuck you from her. A big one. This was perfect. The boy was already a powerhouse, taijutsu being good, ninjutsu being good too, but also excellent chakra control for a genin. He shouldn't be able to even do this. Hinata and Shino were still struggling to walk on the water after 2 days of training on it. But Naruto skated up and down the stream with relative ease. Who was this boy really? And then she figured the boy had been experimenting on several techniques. She remembered when she told him he could easily become a sensor type when he displayed chakra control well beyond the years of a genin, and he kept it up, then he would be excellent at it. One day when teammate was doing some sparring, having anything legal in it, the boy was trapped in a lower-level genjutsu to simply disorientate and confuse him, while still letting him function somewhat. However, Naruto stayed level-headed, and declared loudly, "Don't think you can hide from me, Kurenai-sensei. Time to try out my newest technique." Kurenai watched in amazement as Naruto not only tore through her genjutsu, which wasn't so much a surprise seeing she already taught them how to break genjutsu with genjutsu release, but was able to see where she was when she was sure she made herself totally hidden from the boy. Have the boy already figured out how to sense chakra already? Naruto launched a kunai at Kurenai, to which she of course caught but decided to come out the tree of where she was. "Naruto, that was excellent of breaking my technique, but how did you find me? I was sure I hide myself completely, but you still found me?" Naruto sheepishly grinned and modestly rubbed the back of his head. "I found a way to find someone even if they do that." "How?" Shino stopped, asked stoically and approached Naruto, with Hinata Hyuga meekly moving up to see what was up too. "He, I can find someone by their heartbeat," Naruto proudly stated. All three sets of eyes widened at Naruto's boast. What? I never heard of such a technique. It's because I came up with the technique myself. And then, she realized the boy truly was something prodigious. Even if he tried to play it off as common knowledge, very few people knew or even remembered what tenketsu was, because very few ninjas could release chakra freely from their tenketsu, excluding any of the current 450 members of the Hyuga clan. But she never knew there were a lot of tenketsu chakra nodes at the heart, let alone those could be interacted with even so far from where a person would stand. Yes, she knew you could force chakra into an enemy's chakra system and disrupt someone's chakra flow, but not do anything more to the tenketsu around an area. Naruto came up with a technique that could easily spot out someone else no matter where they were. So as long as they were in his area, he could do it. The heart has 45 chakra nodes at it, the most largest part of the body. This technique I've been experimenting on for a week can track someone by their heartbeat. All I do is send out a pulse of chakra to an enemy. Naruto demonstrated, and sent a pulse of chakra through the air. All three of them felt a tingle in them, and suddenly Naruto smirked, and I know where you guys are. Apparently I guess you guys can feel a tingle. That's probably the downfall of the technique. A smart ninja probably could feel something is wrong and counter it, and I'm not too sure if I can sense suppressed ninjas, but I'll work out the kinks of the move. I call it the Dokidoki Kanchi no Jutsu, heartbeat sensor technique. The tingle you guys felt was your heart's chakra nodes responding to my chakra pulse. Neat, isn't it? And Kurenai learned something incredibly helpful to not only help Shino and Hinata become stronger, but even help her own tracking skills. Naruto told them how to do it, and the seal, and she realized the problems with the technique. With Naruto and his special amount of chakra, he could probably do the technique for a while without feeling any drawback. The technique did consume chakra, and did demand chakra control. While Kurenai could do it, Hinata and Shino could not as of yet, due to them still trying to work on their chakra control. It also increased chakra consumption as the target had increased distance. A good sonar technique, but incomplete. Good at surprising enemies once, but not again. Smart enemies anyway. Still, the fact that Naruto could do this, the fact he was already making techniques, was staggering. To think, if Kakashi got his hands on Naruto. No, she would never let him. And she was sure he wouldn't, until she saw Kakashi down in a training grounds, with Naruto going over some technique. Kurenai's glare was palpable. So Kakashi had Naruto with ninjutsu, huh? She had genjutsu. And she was already going to get Guy to help them out with taijutsu. Kurenai smirked. No more secret lessons for you, Kakashi, but for now let's see what Kakashi has been teaching him. Kakashi couldn't believe how much of a little powerhouse Naruto was. When he first threw the idea to Naruto to teach him a few things, Naruto promptly shrugged and said, yeah, sure. Kakashi couldn't be more pleased at the power Naruto had. Naruto was definitely fast, that he could say it was somewhat hard keeping up with Naruto with his regular eye. But even then, Kakashi still felt Naruto was holding back, even when he told him to come at him with everything he got. Naruto's taijutsu was very eccentric, almost erratic, but it didn't lack control. In fact, it seemed the idea around Naruto's taijutsu was to trick his opponent into thinking he was gonna attack with his left, while he hit with his right. He had the stance, the stature as if he was gonna hit right, but he was hitting left. Naruto was good at looking around and using his terrain to his advantage. Naruto threw sand and dust at his eyes to blind him and disorientate him. Naruto purposely made holes in the ground to make him slip, or whatever. He even made clones to throw at him sometimes, or they throw him. If he was lesser of the man he was, he probably would fall for such attacks. Ninjutsu-wise, Naruto had a cesspool of chakra control and a nexus of chakra. He had a good amount of feel for most of the ninjutsu Kakashi gave him. Futon, Shibuya. Kakashi was drawn in slightly by the side effect of the attack, and was attacked by a barrage of arrows made of cutting wind. Kakashi, however, countered with wind's natural nemesis. Katon, Hozenka no Jutsu. A volley of fireballs flying from the gray-haired man, which neutralized wind and destroyed the arrows. Seeing the C-rank move do its job in stopping the wind, Kakashi regarded Naruto with an eye smile. Good job, Naruto. Nice to see those wind release scrolls are paying off. Nice to see it is. Kurenai finally jumped in on the scene. Kurenai-sensei. Naruto cheered. Look at what I can do. Kakashi-sensei's been teaching how to do wind techniques and all other cool stuff. Naruto smilingly said, to which a very sheepish smile came on Kakashi's face. Kurenai smirked at Naruto, so I see. Well, since I was gonna see what your elemental chakra affinities already today, and Hataki-san sped up the process, Kurenai started, putting emphasis on Kakashi's name. How about we also help our other students, Hataki-san? Oh well, he tried to start explaining why he was teaching Naruto, but Kurenai stopped him. Splendid. That's the answer I was looking for. Kurenai interrupted with a false cheer. She could tell Kakashi started to openly glaring at the beautiful woman in front of him, and Naruto. You can help my team more with ninjutsu, seeing as God knows you're way better at me in it. Kurenai smirked. Naruto cheered, while Kakashi simply grunted. Kurenai's smirk reached her ears, and while we're at it, we can make it team sessions, like bring your team with us to a training ground, so we can spar. I would always love to see a Naruto-Sasuke matchup. I want to see what you've been teaching Sakura, and let's not forget Kiba now. Kakashi let out a small chuckle, though she could tell it was strained with anger at Kurenai. Binger, Hataki. He probably didn't even teach them anything yet. Well, that sounds like a cool idea. Kakashi said it as if cool about it, as if he didn't even care. Though, she knew this was an upsetting defeat for him. Though, I haven't been training them with chakra control exercises like you've been teaching yours. Kakashi admitted. Most we've been doing is some D-ranked missions. Kurenai thought to herself about her own team and their lack of D-rank missions. They do need to do some D-rank missions to get a feel of missions. Well, Naruto seems to have the best chakra control on the team, seeing as he already knew how to do the exercise. Kurenai glanced at Naruto, whose face was either modest embarrassment or fear from being discovered. Crap. She knows. Naruto thought, but he shook his head. Of course she does, idiot. What person knows how to skate on water on their first try? And it's not like I had abysmal chakra levels like Sakura did before, so my chakra control should have been horrid. Ugh, I'm a show-offy idiot sometimes. Kakashi's eyes quirked. He knew the exercise already? Either Kakashi was dealing with the greatest thing in his life, a student who actually had potential to do some right things in his life, or God's son himself. His chakra control, as a genin, was practically ranging to Chunin level. That was something that reminded him of himself. More of the reasons to train him to not become like him. Well, I read a lot. Naruto said, sheepishly rubbing his head and smiling foolishly for his teachers. And I came across the tree and water exercises before. He's lying. Both concluded. No way he could legitimately get those books with having the 9 tails inside him. But before you go off and saying that I'm lying, Naruto already caught their dubious glances. I kinda had to steal the books, but brought them back before I could get caught. That did barely anything to quell such glances, but again, they had little to no other guesses that could explain why the boy had known those 2 exercises, too advanced for a genin to know. And besides, it was highly doubtful he could have been priorly trained before he graduated. His grades in the academy did not show it, and the plain fact that almost every teacher, ninja and civilian hated him made that idea abolish itself from their minds. Could he be a genius? Kurenai was already told by Sarutobi that Naruto was simply a hard-working fellow, who wasn't a genius, but better than that, as declared by the professor himself. Maybe he just saw someone do it? Naruto's childhood was filled with ANBU, Kakashi reckoned himself. Myself included. I looked after him for some time. And I think I did show him once how to do a tree exercise, though I doubt he could even do it, since he didn't even know what chakra was. Naruto even being chased around was filled with ninjas. They could have been walking on walls to catch him. And Naruto is known to learn kinesthetically. Could he just saw someone do it and just replicated it from there? Naruto could see their pondering faces smooth out to just simple glances at Naruto, and then nodded from his answers. Naruto sighed to himself in some relief, showing off techniques I made, showing off chakra control moves I could do, hell, even being here, explaining how I got those techniques, and seeing them think I'm lying to them has already cut my out of my trump cards. Well, at least to them. Not like they could come up with another answer to explain why I know this, and I can't tell them I'm from the future, lest I get a brain checkup from the hospital. Oh well, let's focus on the important things though. I get some training in ninjutsu with Kakashi with some lower level wind techniques with Kakashi, and we might even spar with Team 7. I don't know why, but I really want to spar with Sasuke. Really want to spar with him. Naruto chuckled manically in his mind. Kakashi had finally caved in and said yes to Kurenai's ideas. The gray-hair man somewhat shuddered when she said she also needed to feed her students some taijutsu drills, so she might even call up Guy to practice with them. Yeah, you can, long after I'm gone from here. The flamboyant, youthful man that Guy was sometimes really pissed him off to no ends. And their long-time rivalry was something even more ridiculous. He only did them because those days he was still failing students. 5 years he had no Guy, and 5 years he wished he never had. Guy wanted to beat Kakashi and claimed the youthful title of being better than the legendary, hip Kakashi Hatake. It was frankly annoying, and always either ending up him quieting too early or Guy losing. Only 10 times have Guy beat him legitimately in something, and they were taijutsu battles or speed contests. Guy was cool and all, but he rather a distance where he wasn't getting screamed down his ears from the youthful man. Kakashi was still annoyed Kurenai broke off his secret training exercises with Naruto and forced him to only train with him grouped with his peers. It hadn't been even a week before she discovered them. Damn it. Oh well, maybe he did need to learn that he had responsibilities now. He didn't have any time to go around and train a student when he had students, even if he hated his team at the moment. In short, all three had good potential to be good ninjas but also good potential to be bad ninjas. Sakura Haruno was a textbook perfect definition of a horny civilian girl, who was after some tale rather to achieve in ninja status. She rather spend time cheering on Sasuke, making gooey eyes at Sasuke, punch around Kiba for talking bad about Sasuke and brushing her locks to look pretty. That's not what a kunoichi was. She was to put it in a ponytail, Sasuke to fight her, and not be afraid to dirty her red dress. She should be a kunoichi, not a frail little girl hoping Sasuke will save her in battle like an hero. Kiba Inuzuka, honestly he liked the boy, but he was what he would think Naruto would be, a loud, frank, somewhat dim-witted and blunt boy who rather fight Sasuke than even listen to his teacher sometimes. Kiba didn't get along with Sasuke because Sasuke's arrogance and nose high in the air, or he had his sharp canine-like fingernails at Sakura for being, what he called, a bitch. Sakura of course didn't take lightly to Kiba's insults, and sometimes just clobbered the mud boy in the face with her so-called righteous female anger. There was even times he didn't even want to teach them a damn thing. And then there was Sasuke, who had successfully acquired the arrogance of an Uchiha. The little bastard sometimes went around, parading as the whole damned show, the leader of the team when Kakashi had been so. The little prick didn't even call him Kakashi-sensei, only opted to call him Kakashi. He is a brat, used to the villagers' undying devotion and love towards the last Uchiha. And he wasn't even humble. It was annoying, and frankly it annoyed him even more that Kakashi was like that, an arrogant punk to spat at the mouth. All three of them were annoying, and Kakashi would snap them out of it, even if he had go to Guy and hang with him for a day. Although he didn't initially like this idea, the thought stood. Maybe, just one spar with Team 8, and he could tame the beasts in Team 7, give a wake-up call that being brats would get treated as such. And Kakashi, with that, grinned at his plans. So, when do Team 7 and 8 spar, Yuhi-san? Kakashi said coolly to the cooler woman in front of him. The setting now inside a bar dedicated solely to ninjas. The least the Hokage could do before some of those ninjas laid their life down for the village is get them a place to get them inebriated. The bar wasn't very rowdy or lively, since it was still early, but it definitely had a few people inside, Kurenai and Kakashi included. In a week from here. A week would make a month of us having students, so how about we do something special for our little genin? Kurenai grinned. Kakashi nodded. I think this will be a good thing for Team 7. Oh? Let's just say my team needs a wake-up call, Kakashi vaguely uttered. Maybe you do too, Hataki-san. Kurenai frowned. You know you're not supposed to go out your way and teach my students separately while you forgot about your own. I didn't forget about my team, Yuhi-san, Kakashi clarified. I simply was just teaching someone worth my time as a jounin instructor. My brats can't even stop fighting amongst themselves, and frankly Kiba's getting double-teamed by the arrogant boy and Sakura. I don't feel like teaching them. You haven't even trained them anything, so what could you expect? Kurenai deadpan. You don't feel like it? Sounds like laziness. I didn't teach them anything because they really don't deserve it, Kakashi said, now visibly annoyed at Kurenai's assumptions of him just being lazy or downright incompetent. You think I don't want to? Why do you think I take on teams year in and year out? I tried to teach them about teamwork, I tried to get them to trust their teammates, and I passed Team 7 just because one gave another a bento for God's sake, without my permission. So yeah, I was desperate at the time apparently. Sue me. It's not laziness, Yuhi-san. I want them to work together, not bicker, and if I give them toys to play with, surely they will break. Until they learn they need to work together, listen to their sensei and stop being like brats, I won't teach them. In fact, I'll deem them unfit as genin and send their little asses back to the academy. Then I could just tutor your student or students in ninjutsu. They seem like they deserve it. Kurenai smiled and nodded. Team 8 was a good team. The three talked together, they interacted together, and they sparred together. Naruto even taught all of them one technique that could help them even more. They got their teamwork packed down. Thinking in the long run, Kurenai knew Kakashi was right, but brutally honest, when it came to Team 7. He was right. If they didn't deserve it, why should he teach them? If she was him, she would have sent them back the moment they acted like brats on their first team mission. So you're hoping this spar does them well? What if it does the opposite? It won't, Kakashi confidently said. Sakura and Kiba may be idiots sometimes, but they definitely are ready for a wake-up call and they can respond properly. And Sasuke? The most he might do is mope because he was defeated, but I don't think that's gonna shoot down his ego and strive to be a better ninja now. This will let him know that there's always gonna be stronger than him out there, and he's no closer to his foolish dream of revenge. Such confidence in his team to win. Kurenai sighed. He still thinks he can go against Itachi and win? Forget defeating him. He said he's gonna to kill him. I hope he can realize that his duty in Konohagakure is more important than petty revenge against his older brother. Kakashi shook his head. Even he would be able to get to him. Itachi is not a weakling. He would need to be much more level-headed than he is now. And I heard he joined the Akatsuki. Akatsuki? Where have I heard that name before? Kurenai wondered to herself. In reality, Kurenai nodded in agreement. Alright, well, I hope our spar goes good then. You might be right. This might be the wake-up call you're needing. Kakashi I smiled and nodded. By the way, I'm curious, but since you stole Naruto from me, Kakashi joked mostly, how is he? Naruto, he's definitely a mysterious one. Kurenai smiled to herself. Did you know that before you showed up, he even created his own technique? His own technique? Kakashi's eyes widened, confused as ever. How could he dash? I don't even know. She shrugged. He went on and taught everybody his technique. So what kind of technique is this? Ninjutsu, genjutsu? A tracking ninjutsu. A tracking ninjutsu? This early of a genin is making tracking ninjutsu? Kakashi frowned to himself. Really disappointed that I didn't even pick up this one. Damn it, Obito. The boy can actually make tracking techniques already. He's definitely a genius. My team specialize in tracking and locating the teammate. For a boy without a clan that specialize in such, he definitely is making his way down to be the team's second sensor. Hell, if he wanted to be, since his chakra control is better than most genin, he could even be a medic-type ninja. Can't go wrong with those. Kurenai smirked. A sensor-type ninja or a medic-type ninja? Kakashi months ago, seeing the boy's grades and academics, wouldn't even believe he could do that. But before he couldn't even make a simple clone, and suddenly before graduation he got a good amount of chakra control to do the clone technique? Kurenai did see it as far-fetched sometimes. You think it's the Kyuubi's doing? She whispered the last part, lest anyone hear her. Doubtful. I don't sense any of that influence on the boy, nor is he showing early signs of massive destruction for everything. Kakashi lightly joked. All I can tell is the boy is hiding stuff, possibly hiding his other abilities. Besides, I don't think the Kyuubi would get up and train the boy himself. They chuckled at the notion. Kyuubi, training the boy? Ha. Well, maybe we could learn more about him later, but yeah, the boy is something else. Kurenai said, and then she admitted, hell, even I learned that tracking technique of his. What does it require? Get this. The boy found out how to send a sonar wave to pinpoint an enemy's location by their heartbeat. Kakashi widened his eyes and sputtered, WH what? Yep. He found out that send a pulse of chakra to someone's heart, the chakra nodes around it can send feedback in another wave. That repelling wave can help the user pinpoint an enemy. It isn't without its weaknesses, of course, but that's helpful. Very helpful. Think of him using it with clones too. He could scout out more than one enemy without even trying so much. Kakashi's usual stoic face dropped for a shocked look. Ingenious. How did he even devise such a technique? He said by a book. Now that I believe. Kurenai said with a straight face without a trace of doubt. The technique is still incomplete and still needs to be worked on, and it seems like he was just trying it out. Also, he does have access to the ninja library now since he's a genin now. Kurenai laughed to herself. I think it's definitely gonna be an interesting year. Kakashi nodded and put his glass up. I'll drink to that. So, Kakashi-sensei, we're gonna be sparring with Team 8 today? Sakura asked slowly, curious at the man's plans for them today in front of him. Wasn't that the team that idiot Naruto was on? I feel bad for Hinata-san and Shino-san, though he's probably not as annoying as Kiba is. Yep, Kakashi cheerfully said. So today, no D-rank missions. Hoo-hoo. Some action, alright. No more stupid D-rank missions. Kiba loudly proclaimed, happy with doing something other tedious D-rank missions around the village. Yesterday was just the worst with that cat incident, and him chasing it around. Shut up, Kiba Baka. Sakura said, Kakashi-sensei's talking. Make me, wench. Sakura was about to knock Kiba into unconsciousness, but Kakashi promptly stopped her. Now, Sakura, don't get too excited now. We're gonna fight them soon, don't worry. Kiba was glad Kakashi saved his ass back there. What about you, Sasuke? You ready to spar against Naruto's team? Sasuke scoffed. Ready? Definitely. Now I can show how much I grown, even if I have to go against Naruto's stupid team. Seeing Sasuke's grunt of approval was all he needed to grin and laugh merrily at Sasuke's answer. Team 7 thought it to be too merry. Too evil. What was the lazy man up to now? Frankly, the only high opinion Sasuke Uchiha had of anyone was himself. He didn't care for Sakura, and Kiba was strong, he admitted grudgingly, but an idiot. A big idiot. Add to there was gonna be 2 idiots he seen today, and he had this sparring match in the bag. He could worry about Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburame and all, but he didn't. While it was true all he knew about Shino is he used bugs to fight and Hinata was probably naturally dangerous when it came to taijutsu, if she got close, but he had nothing quite to worry about if he kept his distance. He knew he didn't even need to worry about Naruto. The boy couldn't even do a single clone correctly for a few years. And all he probably was doing was dragging Team 8 down. He felt almost sorry for them for having to harbor a loser like Naruto. Almost. Sakura had almost the same thing in mind. Naruto was stupid and foolish, and how he aced his tests in order to pass probably was done by cheating or stealing somebody's answers. Something. No way he got as high as her on that test. And not certainly higher than Sasuke-kun. Naruto, all he was a Kiba with probably better looks. He was kinda cute. But not cuter than Sasuke-kun. Kiba didn't have much anything against Team 8, even if it was Naruto, the annoying little twit. They probably had a much cooler and better sensei too. Kakashi sensei hasn't even lifted a finger to teach them a damn thing other than teamwork this and teamwork that. Teamwork? He'd rather work with 2 monkeys than Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura was annoying with that damn voice and crush on her Sasuke-kun, and he couldn't stand Sasuke. He believed the damn earth revolved around him, the black-haired fucker. But if he had to, he'll work with them. Even just this once. 'Cause what Kakashi-sensei promised. You know, just to get you guys to agree to this, how about we wager something? Ooh, what? What? Money techniques. Oh, I know. That thing under your mask. Let's see what's under your mask. Sasuke's snort was translated to be a huff of amusement at Kiba's words, and Sakura nodded furiously, dying to know what was under that mask. Kakashi's eye slightly twitched. None shall know what's under this mask lest the universe collapse until an infallible wave of chaos. Kiba's sweat dropped. What? I know what we'll wage, Kakashi declared cheerfully. You'll surely like this. What? What? If you guys beat Team 8, I'll get you guys out of D-rank missions for a month. The 3 looked at Kakashi with a jaw drop, and then those cute sparks of hope glimmered in their eyes. Deal. Kakashi's sweat dropped. Man, they really hate D-rank missions. He muttered to himself. No more D-rank missions for a month. Kiba said to himself, pumping his fist. Yes, yes, yes. I will do it. I'll beat the shit out of the idiot, defeat Hinata-chan and destroy Bug Boy even if I have to work with them. By them, he meant Pinky and Sasuke. I'll beat them and get myself all these fucking stupid missions. Unfortunately, Team 7 was about to be disappointed. Sasuke Uchiha stopped on the soil of Training Grounds 8, and seemingly just scoffed at the air itself. Naruto looked at Sasuke with annoyance. What's wrong, Sasuke? Training Grounds too good for you? Teammates better without you, though. Sasuke shot back. Much like most of the teams. Naruto's annoyed glare only switched over to Kiba when he decided to join Sasuke in insulting Naruto. I actually agree with Sasuke, idiot. Can't believe we're gonna spar with your team. This gonna be an easy one. Naruto smirked. Better watch your tongue, Kiba. Don't want you falling down and hurting yourself before you get a hit on any of us. Kiba grinned to Naruto. I doubt you'll even be able to touch me, dead last. Naruto frowned at Kiba's words, and the term dead last that came up. Forgot he was also a douche before we had entered the Chunin exams until I farted in his face and beat the shit out of him with my clones. Kakashi smiled at them, sarcastically saying, well, glad to see everybody is so ready to spar today. Kurenai grinned. Well, I think sparring time should start. We made the rules, so these are them. 1. Kunai and Shuriken are allowed in sparring, but do try from refrain from causing irreparable damage on each other. A kunai to the neck automatically is a win. Fighting until some gets knocked out or gives up is also allowed. 2. Taijutsu and ninjutsu is allowed, but ninjutsu is restricted to using it 3 times, so choose your techniques wisely. using the same technique 3 times count. 3. Fight until you can't anymore. Don't hold back too much, but don't try to kill your opponent. We're sparring, not fighting in a battle. Kakashi laughed, and with that, we decide to pair you up into groups of 2. Sakura Haruno vs Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame vs Kiba Inuzuka, and Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha. May the best team win. Kiba groaned, damn it, why didn't I get lucky and fight Naruto? This earned a slight glare from the quietest boy of the 6 children. Trust me, if you can't beat me, don't try to think you can beat Naruto-san, Shino said, aggravated a little that Kiba ignored him for favor of getting an easy win against Naruto. This isn't about winning, this is about training to get better. Quite so. Kakashi nodded, sparring is sparring. Try to refrain from trying to kill your partner, guys. Sakura was asking herself this, is Shino blind? Kiba doesn't gotta worry about Naruto, Naruto's the weakest here. Who wants to fight first? Kakashi asked. Ooh. I wanna see Sakura-chan and Hinata-chan fight. Naruto clapped Hinata gently on the shoulder, which got him a small meet from the shy girl. Don't ya, Hinata? I don't know, Hinata said, lacking the confidence in her abilities unlike Naruto. Come on, Hinata-chan. You can do it. But what if I don't do well? You will, Naruto reassured. Sheesh, Naruto, will you shut up? Stop pestering the girl already. It must be a headache having a dead last on their team, Sakura screeched, trying to get Naruto from bullying Hinata into fighting first. She was sure not in a hurry to fight herself. She rudely pushed Naruto out the way, ignoring Naruto's indignant hey, and trying consoling the unsure girl. We don't need to fight first, Hinata. We don't even have to fight. I'll do it. Wah. I'll fight you, Hinata said, voice darkened. Look at Sakura with a determined look on her face. The grounded yellow-headed boy smiled at Hinata. Looks like somebody's gonna fight after all. Battle 1. Hinata Hyuga vs Sakura Haruno. Hinata stood a good distance apart from Sakura, who looked honestly confused. Hinata was the meek and sweet girl she knew from the academy, but now, she was here, practically glaring at her. Then she came out of nowhere and agreed to fight her. Where did she suddenly got the courage to say, let's fight? Sakura honestly didn't want to fight. She didn't want to spar anyway. All she wanted to do is just watch Sasuke-kun beat the snot out of Naruto. He's the one who pressured her into fighting. Ugh, the nerve of the boy. She didn't care if fighting would get them to be off D-rank missions for a month. She didn't honestly want to hurt poor Hinata's ego when she won. Look, Hinata, you know we don't have to fight. Don't listen to that idiot Naruto and let him bully you into fighting me. The nerve of that dead last. He probably annoys your teammate and you all the time, she said, further trashing Naruto. Hey, I'm not that bad. Naruto pouted, still a little shocked. Sakura just seemed so hateful of him. Damn, she really thought little of me in the beginning, huh? The old me would have probably be devastated at her words. Hinata's expression again darkened. Naruto-kun is not an annoyance. Huh? He's better than that. He's a good teammate, and I won't let you insult him again, Hinata declared, running at great speed at Sakura. Sakura couldn't even see Hinata, but she suddenly gasped at the burning pain in her stomach. Hinata point-blank punched her in the gut, getting her to choke up some blood and spit. What did I say? She barely said, almost crying from the pain. Hinata sneered, as she let Sakura drop to the floor, clutching her stomach. Was such a weak girl like you, maybe your team is burdened with you instead of Naruto burdening us. Hinata coldly said, barely stuttering anymore, shocking Naruto and a few others in back of him. Ouch at the punch, and ouch at the insult. Quite out of character Hinata was. Naruto didn't like seeing Sakura in pain like this, but sometimes, with pain, people do see the light much better. Hinata really likes me enough to become strong enough to not hesitate to beat someone down. I'm like her little shot of confidence. He didn't know whether to feel flattered or just intensely guilty that Hinata likes him that much to fight for him like that, when he probably wouldn't even like her like that. Hinata really doesn't like it when I'm insulted. Naruto chuckled to himself. Weak? Sakura said, whispering. Weak girl? Sakura stood, ignoring the pain in her stomach, and looked at Hinata with emerald fury, only reserved for Naruto and Kiba, now reserved for Hinata Hyuga. I'm not weak. Sakura let out a war cry and tried to deck Hinata in her face. For Hinata, the punch had a lot of power, no doubt, but it was ever so slow and sloppy. People when angry did not fight correctly, and usually abandoned everything to fury. Sakura was no difference. The punch was in slow motion as it approached the Hyuga's face. With vicious speed, Hinata caught her arm, applied a hammerlock to it, and placed the kunai at Sakura's neck, letting out some hidden killer intent that even surprised Naruto and his teammate. You lose, Hinata declared. Sakura didn't struggle, too tied down by Hinata's killer intent to do anything about it. I lose. Winner, Hinata Hyuga, Kakashi declared, grimly smiling at the fight. Not like he enjoyed seeing his student go down with one punch, but he sighed, it was for the best. Sakura promptly fainted after being exposed to Hinata's killer intent, which seemed almost at a Chunin's level, much to his surprise. Kurenai, however, smiled. She couldn't ever be more proud in Hinata. Hinata stood up for whatever she believed it, and inadvertently showed Kakashi where Sakura needed to improve it, just about everything. Kakashi grabbed the unconscious girl, and turned to Hinata with a smile. Thanks for telling her what she needed to hear. Hinata blushed. No problem? She said, awkwardness and timidness now coming back over her to hide her once furious expression. Hinata herself knew she kind of overdid it, but when Sakura wouldn't quit insulting her Naruto-kun, she just wasn't there anymore. Naruto himself laughed cheerfully, despite seeing his Sakura-chan go down. Haha, good job, Hinata-chan. Lightning quick, as always. She almost fainted herself at his praise. He wasn't mad she beat his Sakura-chan? No. She thought. In fact, he seems happy I did. Sasuke snorted, and sardonically said, wow, Sakura sure did last long. Haha, sorry for your girlfriend, Uchiha. Sasuke glared balefully at Kiba. But it's time for me to steal the show away now. Next fight, Battle 2, Kiba Inuzuka vs Shino Aburame. Come on, bug boy. Let's have decent fight, unlike that last one. EW. Boy, that was nasty. Kiba grinned, and walked onto the field. Though, gotta admit, glad Sakura got knocked out by Hinata. Hinata has definitely improved. She's not the only one who has improved, Kiba, Shino said. All of us did. All of you? Kiba scoffed. I find it hard to believe Naruto improved. He seems like the loud twit he was in the academy. Loud? Yes, but do not confuse that for weakness. The mysterious bug wielder said. Coolly he said, when I fight, I can barely hit him. Barely? I thought you were confident in yourself, Shino. I am, but I also know my limits and the extent to which my abilities can go. I'll believe it when I see it, but you ain't gotta worry about that. Kiba grinned bestially. Right now, you gotta fight me. Shino nodded, let us beginning. Kiba grinned. A small bulge moved in Kiba's jacket. Come on out, Akamaru. A white dog yipped while jumping out his coat. Shino expected as much. An Inuzuka was powerful with its partner. But so was an Aburame. To Naruto, Kiba and Shino moved slowly across the fields, even when Hinata and Sasuke could barely see them, but their speed was well above a normal genin's speed. Shino did not summon his bugs quickly, much to Kiba's surprise, but simply decided to attack fist by fist. However, Kiba knew there was a matter of time before Shino did attack with his bugs, and Kiba had already been defeated then. So Kiba opened the distance once again, and tried to cause some space. Kiba tried to attack Shino with a barrage of shuriken and kunai, trying to keep his distance from Shino and keep Shino blocking. Apparently the Inuzuka wasn't that dim-witted. Knowing the bugs Shino can eat the opponent's chakra, Kiba smartly kept away from the attacks that Shino possibly could inflict on him. Shino saw Kiba with confusion as Kiba went down on all fours and widened when his bugs told him that Kiba was channeling chakra for a ninjutsu. Shikyaku no Jutsu, for legs technique. Kiba's first ninjutsu was done with, and then with accelerated speed, Kiba sliding across the field, closing the distance. He then tried slamming an elbow into the Aburame's stomach. He barely missed, as the Aburame dodged it. The smarter and taller Aburame decided to back off and send some of his bugs to attack Kiba and his chakra. Kiba, with taijutsu simply, cleaved into flying insects of Shino, not very much shocking the silent boy in front of him. Shino's bugs were like a nin dog, they didn't count as ninjutsu, simply as tools to attack the opponent. Then, Akamaru made his presence known on the arm of Shino. Shino dully gritted his teeth as he tried to get Akamaru's canines off his newly damaged arm, but Kiba again surprised him by closing the distance, and then felt a crazy pain overtake him. Tsuga, passing Fong. With vicious and bestial speed, Kiba spun like a drill and attacked Shino, whom flew back from the attack. The mini tornado torn through Shino's defenses with ease and knocked Shino back with force until he sprawled over the floor. Ha, not so tough now, eh? Akamaru. I don't think you're needed for this one, get back to the sidelines. Kiba's dog yipped affirmatively and listened to his master. Shino ignored Kiba's taunt and got up, despite the crazy pain he felt. Whatever that technique was, Shino was wise not to get hit by it again. Shino stayed put, collecting his bearings and decided what to do next against Kiba. The passing Fong technique required no chakra to spin at all, just that the user spun at dangerous speeds. No chakra use meant it was not a ninjutsu. Perfect. So, Kiba still technically had 2 more ninjutsu he could use, and he could use that move again at free reign? If Shino was like Naruto Uzumaki, he probably would be screaming expletives all over. Shino, however, thought more on how the technique worked. It was purely taijutsu and bestial speed. That 4 legs technique released chakra, and it gave Kiba the abilities of what a vicious, rabid dog would have. No. The deadly speed, power, and stamina of a wolf was what now Kiba had. There seemed also no time limit of when the 4-leg technique would end. Kiba's speed far surpassed his own. He would have to use his bugs to get close. But the speed of his newfound strength could even overwhelm his Kakaiju before he even touched Kiba. Shino could not even speak as he was elbowed by Kiba and again thrown far, while Kiba ran back and kept his distance. Shino knew he couldn't last long if Kiba decided to straight up overwhelm him with that strange spinning attack again. It hurt incredibly last time he got hit, and it was fast enough for Shino to not be able to dodge. But then Shino noticed something: Kiba's patterns. He hits me and then runs away. If I cannot get to him, he will strike, knowing I will be too busy defending. Instead, I shall let him come to me and strike before he does. You can't beat what you can't see, Shino. Kiba again taunted from the other side. Shino narrowed his eyes and stabbed 2 kunai to the ground. This shall work. Time to finish this, Kiba proudly announced, as if he was in control of the match. Here he comes. Shino braced himself. Tsuga! Was the roar from Kiba, warning Shino of the danger. Shino quickly palmed his hands to the ground, hoping truly this did work. Suddenly, Shino gasped as Kiba hit him dead on. Kiba smirked at his handiwork, Bug Boy flying back. Shino's coat looking teared up as much as he was. Shino didn't look he was going to get back after than 1. Score! Haha. Looks like I win, Kakashi-sensei, Kiba gleefully said. Kiba, in his victory dance, failed to understand the buzzing in his ears. Before he did, the swarm of his parasitic bugs was already amongst him. Shino smirked painfully on the ground, his jacket already eaten up by Kiba's attacks. I will require a newer jacket. Much to his displeasure, Kiba did eat up his favorite one. Shino then remarked on his handiwork as Kiba tried fighting off the thousands of bugs that feasted on Kiba's chakra. Too much deluded in his arrogance, he failed to see I made holes for my insects to come up and latch to him the moment I went down. Hijutsu Mushidama, secret technique, insect sphere, complete, Shino quietly said, watching Kiba become immobile. Kiba tried struggling, and moved small inches, much to the surprise and even respect of the Aburain boy, but the bugs followed him, now feasting on Kiba's bounty of chakra. Kiba knew he was beat when Shino sauntered up to him and placed a kunai just above his growing Adam's apple. Concede to your own defeat. Kiba grunted, annoyed that he had been defeated so damn easily by the bug boy, knew when he had been defeated. I lose. Kakashi smiled. Well, Kiba-kun did better than expected. Kurenai nodded, with a small smile herself, that he did. Clever that Aburaim-san used Kiba's arrogance against him and hid the bugs underground. Kakashi noted, praising Kurenai's student. I guess that's another habit I have to break. Who? Shino. Smart as ever. Team 8's loudest member of the team said. I didn't even know you can hide bugs underground like that. Naruto clamped Shino's shoulder. Shino had a ghost of a small smile on his face, but then held up his stoic expression, not responding too much to the praises. I expect you to do well against Sasuke. Naruto grinned, and flicked his nose. Me? Against the bastard? You already know who's gonna win. Sasuke grunted as he seen Kiba limp his way back to the others. Weakling. You lost to Bug Boy. Kiba growled, tired and weak from the battle, while Akamaru came with a whimper to see his master's wounds. Shut up, Uchiha. He was tough. At least you got an easy battle. Sasuke scoffed at this, not even worth showing any of my skills. Oh yeah, Sasuke-chan? Naruto grinned foxily at the dark-haired boy in front of him. I'm betting that you will. Sasuke snorted, I highly doubt that. Sasuke stepped down from his place and to the battlefield. Naruto groaned at the arrogant boy down in front. Classic douchebaggery, Sasuke. Classic. Last battle, Battle 3, Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha. Let's make this quick, dead last? Maybe I could spar with someone better and properly test out my skills, Sasuke boasted. If you're hoping for me to run and attack you head-on without accessing the situation because you tried to insult me, prick, you're out of luck, Naruto evenly saying, grinning back. By the time I'm done with you, you'll never underestimate me again. Sasuke snorted yet again. So you learned how to stop attacking me head-on, that's perfect. I guess then you'll last a few seconds longer than our regular taijutsu drills back in the academy. Naruto grinned. I won't even need ninjutsu for this. And then ran to Sasuke, much to the surprise of Sasuke. That's pretty fast. Sasuke barely caught Naruto's fist, but he did, thanks to his height helping him. Sasuke both grabbed Naruto's hands into his own and the two continued in a brief power struggle. Naruto was holding his own against Sasuke's strength, slowing even overcoming it. Not understanding it, or wanting to know, Sasuke let go of Naruto's hands and kicked him with as much strength as he could. Naruto slid back far from him, but judging from his expression, the kick didn't do much. Sasuke made a grunt and then raced to Naruto with speeds almost as fast as Kiba in his four-leg technique form, Naruto noted. However, Naruto knew he was just as fast and then, the two clashed in taijutsu. Sasuke tried a barrage of kicks to Naruto's shoulder blades and back of his head, while trying to also punch, while Naruto countered by raising his knees up, moving from the axe kicks and blocking the strikes. Sasuke's taijutsu had always been better than his, back then when he was young, and Sasuke was always fast enough to catch him, but Naruto no longer fought clumsily like he did in his youth, and he definitely trained every day to make sure he didn't lose his edge. With the way Sasuke was flinching at some of the strikes he applied, he knew Sasuke was surprised that Naruto was that strong. Hell, he widened his eyes when he saw his speed. His advantage was that Sasuke underestimated him to the fullest. That's why when Naruto did a handstand and kicked him with both feet to his side that he couldn't do much. Sasuke fell to the side as predicted by Naruto. Naruto didn't stop there, as Sasuke rolled. Naruto raced to him, and kicked him in his chest, further knocking the wind out of him. Sasuke gritted his teeth as Naruto didn't stop his rampage. Sasuke kicked both his feet up to get away, not intending to hurt, but only to distract. Quickly making hand seals, Sasuke thought, can't believe the deal last is making me actually do ninjutsu. Katan, Hozenka no Jutsu. Fireballs pour from Sasuke in a hailstorm of fire. Naruto skillfully dodged the fireballs, all while reaching closer to Sasuke. Sasuke gritted his teeth, hoping the Phoenix Sage fire technique slowed Naruto down, but it seems he even got faster as he dashed in and out the firestorm. Sasuke backed up further and reached for a kunai. Naruto reached for his kunai also and clashed with the boy in a loud clang. Sasuke again for the second time today couldn't believe he hardly could keep Naruto at bay with his strength. Naruto was just as fast as him, just as strong as him, and he didn't look like he broke a sweat. Was he toying with him? Sasuke's anger came out with a surprisingly swift palm strike in Naruto's side. Sasuke didn't stop there, wailed Naruto with a quick stiff palm to the chin, poured a lot of his strength in it, and did a sweep kick. He did flip back, somersaulted into the air and quickly did some hand seals. Katan, Gokaki no Jutsu, Fire Release, Great Fireball Technique. The fireball was designed by Uchiha clansmen to swallow everything in its path, and Naruto was in its path. The ball traveled quicker down than horizontally, much to the help of gravity. Naruto surely wasn't fast enough to escape that. Much to the surprise of everyone there and horror to them. At least the genin. What the hell? Kiba said, not believing what Sasuke just done. He just killed Naruto. Yeah, Naruto was an annoying twit and all, but to kill him? What the fuck, Sasuke? Hearing Kiba's yells of shock and then anger, Shino was also stood in shock that Sasuke Uchiha just killed his teammate. His own expression darkened considerably, darker than his neutral expression before, and was even tempted to step in the battle to aid Kurenai's hand stopped him as she placed in his shoulder. Kurenai-sensei? Shino said. Kurenai didn't say anything else to quell his anger, having to already calm down Hinata Hyuga, whose anger was again explored today. Kurenai herself would let the two kick Sasuke's ass, but this was Naruto's fight, and he would be pretty damn pissed if they just stepped in. Just watch. Naruto's fine. He wouldn't drop so easily to a technique. Kakashi frowned, and growled to himself, disgusted at Sasuke Uchiha's willful disregard for an ally's life. An ally. This was sparring, not a battle to kill each other in. Sasuke would face punishment for his actions even if he knew Naruto Uzumaki wasn't gone yet. Already you're walking down a dark path, Sasuke. He then stared at Sakura. I wish you could see what your Sasuke-kun did and decide whether or not you still want to chase after him. Sasuke Uchiha, still with fury in his eyes, stared down at the crater and looked at the charred jacket and skin of Naruto Uzumaki. When his anger was quelled by the dull silence, and the horrid and disgusted eyes upon him, a moment of clarity filled Sasuke and then a moment of realization of what he'd done, and disgust for it. I didn't know. Naruto-kun. He heard a stutter, no doubt coming from the Hyuga girl, and much to his surprise, he no longer saw Naruto Uzumaki lay in the crater. He heard a rumbling from under his feet. Naruto Uzumaki, supposedly dead, rose from the ground with a jaw-breaking uppercut, knocking Sasuke Uchiha off his feet. Naruto this time was aimed to break Sasuke's fucking jaw after that one. The others watched, in some satisfaction, as Sasuke Uchiha flew across the field. Naruto glared heatedly at Sasuke, and tightly said, "You tried to kill me." All traces of surprise and regret for his actions were stripped from his face, as Sasuke glared at Naruto with annoyance. You escaped, didn't you? Naruto glared at him. I'm tired of this little bastard, letting out a surprising amount of killer intent to Sasuke, and with a flash, appeared behind Sasuke, just about the time Sasuke got to his feet painfully. Game over. You lose. Kakashi didn't even bother saying the winner's name, instead letting out his own amount of killer intent to Sasuke and grabbed his wrist. Kiba followed, carrying one Sakura Haruno, giving Sasuke a glare. You and Team 7 are coming with me. Before Kakashi used the body flicker technique to get his team back to their training grounds after a good sparring day turned bad because of one boy's action, Kakashi nodded solemnly to Kurenai and her team. I really regret this happening, Yuhi-san. I'll go and punish one of my students for his actions. No problem, she coolly said, still glaring at Sasuke, who already looked down, angry at the grass below him. We'll talk later. Kakashi bid farewell to the team, before he could hear Hinata and Shino ask questions to the annoyed Naruto Uzumaki. How did you Hinata started? Shadow clone. Naruto finished. Fucking Sasuke. You used the shadow clone as a diversion and burrowed under the ground? Seeing Naruto's nod, Shino let out a small grin splay on his face. Clever. Naruto chuckled, thanks. Hinata asked if he was okay once more. He nodded silently while staring at the crater he was in. Sasuke is going down the path faster than expected, just envious from my taijutsu and speed. If I even showed one of my ninjutsu, he probably would have been 10 times more envious. He sighed. Remember all the hatred in Sasuke Uchiha's eyes. This is bad. Real bad. Kakashi growled, killer intent still washed onto Sasuke. Sit. Sasuke promptly obeyed. Kiba did as well, as sitting down the sleeping girl. Or rather dropped her. Ouch. What the hell? Sakura screeched, not know who dropped her, as she took in her new surroundings, not seeing it as the training grounds Naruto's team was using. What are we doing, Dash? Sakura, shut up. Kiba whispered harshly. Kiba baka. You're not gonna tell me to shut up. Sakura started out, incredibly enraged for Kiba having the nerve to tell her to shut up until she felt unmistakable killer intent, belonging to one Kakashi Hatake. Shut up, all of you. Kakashi growled out. I grow tired of this team. Wha Dash? Shut up, Sakura. Even you too. Kakashi seethed. I'm not mad the fact you lost. I'm actually pleased that you did. Sasuke scoffed. Why? So you can see us, Dash? Kakashi's glare told him that he wasn't even remotely happy that he started to talk to him again. This shut up Sasuke again after he felt Kakashi's killer intent increase to an almost unbreathable level. You are the most idiotic, dumbest pair of brats I have ever had my displeasure to be teaching. You teach us? You don't teach us at all. Don't act like you have. Sasuke screamed back, sick of this treatment. Instead of increasing his killer intent to an eye-gouging level like he would like to see Sasuke do right now, he admitted Sasuke was correct. That's right. You're damn right I don't. I don't teach brats worth my time, who haven't even gotten what teamwork is. Sasuke snorted. Oh, not this teamwork crap again. Yes, this teamwork crap again. Kakashi mocked Sasuke. I'm not teaching you guys anything until you realize this. What? Was the annoyed and shocked question of Kiba Inuzuka. But Kakashi-sensei, we do act like a team. What about all those D-rank missions we do? Sakura asked, generally confused and generally still in pain. All you do on those D-rank missions is bicker amongst yourselves. All of you have differences with each other that you aren't trying to even solve, Kakashi said back in return for her reasoning. Sakura. You don't train, you don't spar, and you don't do much anything else to help yourselves be a better ninja. You rather fawn over your teammate and then pick fights with another all day. It's annoying. If you don't want to be a ninja, all you gotta do is tell me and I'll take you out the program so you can live your life as a civilian. Sakura's eyes widened at Kakashi's words. The pinkette was close to even crying. Good, she needs to cry, Kakashi harshly thought, then staring at the snickering Kiba who had no sympathy for the Sakura Haruno who was now sobbing a little to herself. Kiba, you are just as bad as her. Staring fights with her, and then with Sasuke. You disrupt and act like a fool in public. You even pick fights with Sasuke and resist listening to me when I say don't fight. You're not fit to be a shinobi either with that attitude. Kiba grunted but didn't say anything else, knowing Kakashi wasn't lying. And you, Sasuke? Sasuke's reaction was an annoyed grunt. I think I can't stand your attitude the most. You are definitely unfit to be a shinobi. Sasuke barked out, me, unfit to be a shinobi? I'm the strongest on the team. You think I care if you are the strongest of the group? You think I honestly care? Konoha doesn't need misfit, arrogant, listening impaired brats like you who think you can run the team by yourself. You even defy me. I don't give a damn you being the last Uchiha or not, Konoha isn't desperate to have you here. Learn that. The world doesn't revolve around you. I don't need to teach you anything should you refuse to do what I ask you to do. I can fail you here, take you back to the Hokage, and get him to send you back to the academy for remedial reasons. The gray-haired man looked ready to back up the threat. Just say the words, and I'll have you go back to learn how to be a genin. You can't do that, Sakura said, trying to defend her crush. Oh? Kakashi said back. Try me. Sakura didn't say anything back, letting go of anything she was going to say back and sat down again. Kiba frowned at Sakura but he didn't say anything. Meanwhile the usually stoic Sasuke Uchiha was a cesspool of anger, hatred, annoyance, fear and confusion. Why of all times was the man doing this? If he had a problem, he should have just put him on another team or took Sakura and Kiba off his team and just tutored Sasuke one-on-one. Kakashi sighed, his killer intent disappearing. I'm disappointed in you guys. I was actually glad you guys lost. You guys need to be controlled and this is my last time trying to help out Team 7. Next time, I'll fail all of you, and go back to being a special jounin with no worry of brats. We're gonna work on your teamwork one more time, and then if you guys master that, I'll get you stronger, but only if you're willing to get stronger. Sasuke scoffed to himself. About time, he whispered. Kakashi ignored Sasuke. Sakura, you and Kiba will train with me with taijutsu and ninjutsu. Sakura and Kiba, what? Sasuke asked, flabbergasted at Kakashi. Did I stutter? Kakashi said evenly. But why those two losers? They are weaker than me. Kiba was ready to rip Sasuke a new asshole and Sakura sagged in depression as Sasuke just called her weak, just like Hinata did. It hurt. It really hurt. Kakashi, however, was not swayed. I told you before, I don't give a damn about whether or not you're physically stronger. Right now, to me, you're mentally weak and you're acting like a brat. Sasuke growled, almost ready to attack Kakashi. A sadistic smile was under Kakashi's blue mask. But don't worry, Sasuke. I'll entertain you when I see to you doing D-rank missions for about a month. D-ranked missions? A month? I thought you said the whole team would do them. Of course they will, just they will be getting some training too. Sasuke heatedly glared at Kakashi with a newfound hatred for the lazy asshole in front of him. Because I lost to that idiot because you stopped me? That's why I don't get any training? Idiot? Sakura asked, before Kakashi could even answer Sasuke. She realized who he was talking about. Wait, SAS Sasuke-kun lost to Naruto? Seeing Kiba's uneasy nod, Sakura stared, wide-eyed at Sasuke. But how? Kakashi then sneered. Oh yeah, that reminds me, Sasuke, we do have to also work on not trying to kill your comrades next time we spar. Kakashi sarcastically finished. What? SAS Kiba again nodded. SAS Sasuke-kun would never. Sakura declared, growing tired of Kakashi's accusations. You're lying. Oh, but he did, whether you like to hear it or not, Sakura. Kakashi finished. Go ask teammate if you're not too sure, but for now, he turned back to Sasuke Uchiha. Prepare for some sleep, princess, cause I got a whole D-rank missions for you in the morning. He then turned to Sakura and Kiba before he himself went to get some rest. Ta-ta for now, kids. We'll be training all tomorrow working on some stamina and taijutsu. Same time as we usually come. Later. He poofed away before Sasuke could get a lethal blow on him. Kiba decided to walk away, not saying anything to Sakura or Sasuke. Sasuke huffed and coldly left Sakura in the grounds without so much of a goodbye to her. She noted in a while that he never did so. She was left to her thoughts as she stiffly returned home. She was still in pain. Hopefully Hinata didn't close any Tenketsu points in her stomach, cause tomorrow was probably going to be killer training, more than likely with the way Kakashi had been serious. Sasuke Uchiha was not in a good mood. He honestly wasn't. Today did not agree with him. He hated this. Most days he was just stoic and neutral to everything, even when Sakura pestered him into dates and hangouts. Those very rare days was he ever feeling good about life. He woke up as early as 4 a.m., training for an hour at his home, went to the training grounds, trained some more, possibly ate out dinner though far away from Sakura, went home and trained, and finally went to sleep for at least 8 hours. This was his scheduled day in and day out, and he liked it that way. Kakashi Hatake disrupted this flow. His flow, so to speak. Kakashi Hatake single-handedly called him a brat, and then decided to punish him for fighting like it was a real battle. Sasuke knew the dead last could have escaped, even if he himself doubted it at the time. And then the dead last beat him ba. That stupid kunai to the neck rule stopped him from continuing the battle, and then Kakashi came and grabbed him before he could even respond properly at the dead last. Sasuke then acknowledged Naruto Uzumaki getting better. Definitely not better than him, but better. And it annoyed him. It annoyed him seeing that grin on his face, that kind of in-your-face smile that told him that he hadn't been training hard enough. Of course he hadn't. That damn lazy sensei of his wouldn't even lift a finger up to teach him anything at all. He still wasn't gonna do it. He was gonna teach the losers instead, that insufferable pink-haired girl, and the ungrateful Kiba. They were below him, not even worth his time, but Kakashi decided that he would train them. Without him. For a month. This annoyed him. This angered him. How dare Kakashi refuse him? Even when Kakashi said Sasuke would get training, Sasuke knew it wouldn't be like Sakura and Kiba. They would be getting his attention, even for a few hours earlier than him. They didn't deserve anything. They were losers. He deserved it. And not only that, but his own training himself to perfect the clan scrolls techniques left in the abandoned Uchiha estate was cut by 2 hours of stupid D-rank missions that didn't make sense to him. Finding some stupid cat? Finding the recipe to complete someone's meal? Picking up someone's groceries? They were degrading him, the last Uchiha. Kakashi had the audacity to say he wasn't that much needed in Konoha's forces. What? Him? All those stupid other genin, he would agree with, but him? Him? That's why when he came to the training grounds meetings that he didn't bat an eyelash when Sakura asked him how he was, or the Kiba Inuzuka briefly insulting him with posh good humor. That's why he didn't say a word when Kakashi said what they were gonna do today, be it taijutsu drills or stupid D-rank missions. His silence meant he didn't feel anything for this team. His first initial thoughts. He was furious about yesterday the most. That was just horrible. He couldn't believe what happened. That idiot won. A spar, yeah, but he actually beat him. How could that be? How could he gotten so damn strong already? It's only been a month. How could the gap in their powers close to a small line? How could Naruto almost be as strong as him? He grow that much up? He didn't even come running in after his little insult. And while Kakashi kept his growth back, Naruto clashed evenly with him. The dead last could clash with him. This meant the other members of Team 8 could too? Their teacher didn't stop them, didn't stop their growth. Kakashi did, and he was stuck with him, until he was a Chunin. More things to grit his teeth. Everything seemed to annoy him today. From the smiling face of the villagers, to the people who sucked up to him, and told him to come eat a free meal at their shops. They were pathetic, all of them. Slowly, he was losing faith in ever exacting his revenge on Itachi Uchiha with the little power he received as of lately. It took fighting the dead last to prove it. And the reason for Kakashi holding them back, the one fucking reason, was because they lacked the ability to work together. Really? Fucking really? Stupid Kakashi. Stupid Team 7. Stupid everything. Kakashi Hatake told Team 7 to get some rest for tomorrow morning. Their D-rank mission laid on the Hokage's desk to pick up. This came with the disgust and anguish of Team 7 as each member left to their homes. It had been a good first day that was eventual. Kiba actually sat down and shut up. Sakura didn't pester Sasuke, as much as she usually did anyway, and Sasuke didn't deny him as much. In fact, he didn't even say anything at all. The sound of his quiet breathing was the only reminder he was still alive. No doubt the black-haired boy was furious at Kakashi for having the gal off, making him do early D-rank missions even before Team 7 had their daily meetings. Kakashi sighed. They will get better. Despite his enraged emotions yesterday with Team 7, he did want them to become good at their fields. Sakura had potential, in what, he didn't know yet, but he'll find out. Kiba had his clan techniques pretty much mastered, to the ones he already knew anyway, and Kakashi knew Kiba was powerful. He did excellent yesterday, more than he thought and hoped for. Even Sasuke had potential, but there was a larger underlying potential of complete disaster with him. Kakashi original felt dedicated to train Sasuke because he had the last Uchiha, and the Sharingan was his birthright, creating even more dangerous potential for Sasuke. Soon, however, he looked more into Sasuke Uchiha and saw a little him in there. The one that thirsted for power and to avenge something. He wanted to avenge his father's name by sticking to the rules and bringing honor back to the Hatake name. Sasuke wanted to kill the man who slaughtered his clan and bring honor back to the Uchiha name. They were two staring in the same mirror. However, Kakashi worried about Sasuke. The talk yesterday didn't seem to do anything to help the Uchiha boy. It did nothing to dull the fire pit desire to kill the man who slaughtered his clan at all costs. It did nothing to help the Uchiha listen more to his instruction. It did not to get Sasuke to care for Kiba and Sakura. Not like Kiba really cared for Sasuke either. When they did some taijutsu drills today, Kiba and Sasuke's fighting was more tense, leading Sakura to almost back out from it, until Kakashi forbid her to stand out anymore. Sakura would not sit idly and watch these boys get stronger than her while she became nothing more than a liability to this team. Then he said to the boys and the girl to come at him with everything they got. Kiba and Sasuke showed no hesitation, and Sakura finally let hers go to do so. Then they did well trying to take them down, caught him with a few surprise blows, and even he had to admit Sakura threw a nice right hook. He felt sorry for Kiba having to face that sometimes. Then they did some stamina training up until 6:45 until he felt that was enough. Frankly, Sakura's stamina was superiorly low compared to Sasuke and Kiba, who had pretty high stamina for genin. Sakura's immediate weakness was she had no fortitude. She had some underlying strength, sure, and her speed was decent, but still lower than Sasuke and Kiba, but her durability was incredibly low. Just like a medic. High chakra control, lower chakra capacity, and lower durability. Well, maybe not like the best Konoha medic need, but she did have the description of a regular one. Maybe he needed a real-life mission to get a feel around for teamwork. Maybe. Well, at least something above the rank D rank, something like retrieving something, or them fighting bandits, something for them to get their feet wet. Not this week though. Sasuke Uchiha still needed to be punished of his actions. D-rank missions and cut pay after completing the missions had really only been his punishment. Kakashi did want Sasuke to be punished for his actions, but nothing much else he could do that didn't stop the growth of the boy, as Sarutobi-sama put it. What a day, Kakashi sighed exhaustedly. What a day, Kurenai sighed happily as she walked to her favorite bar in the shopping district of Konoha. Kurenai didn't find it a surprise when Naruto had wind as his affinity, not after Kakashi had taught him a few wind techniques before she caught them. Naruto was like wind, strong, free, unpredictable, and mainly offensive. She unfortunately didn't have any wind techniques in her inventory, or any ability to do so, so she couldn't truly oversee his training in wind techniques should he choose to use them. Her initial thought to get Kakashi to oversee Naruto's training, since Kakashi was the copier of 1,000 techniques and had a few wind scrolls on him. Kakashi already told her that Team 7 was a maelstrom that he needed to survive, so he couldn't do anything to help Naruto without fixing the inner problems between them. She wouldn't let Kakashi even do anything if he decided different. After seeing Sasuke Uchiha in his genius glory, Kakashi had to work on restraining that boy. His envy was disgusting. In any case, Naruto needed scrolls for his wind techniques. He already knew a C-rank one, so why shouldn't he know some more? Shino's affinity to earth release techniques frankly made sense. In taijutsu/ninjutsu drills that they did, Shino made it his mission in the heat of the battle to stay put as best as he could, hold his ground and let his opponents make the wrong move. All Aburame's fighting styles were like that. Most earth release techniques were like that. Stationary, stoic, strong, defensive, and powerful. Aburame usually never dabbled in arts other than their own secret techniques, but an Aburame who had no only supreme on his opponents if they came close, but far away as well if he needed to fight mid to long range. That would be very interesting. Unfortunately, Her ability to use earth release techniques were down to one move, and it wasn't relatively strong, being the same rank as Naruto's Gale Arrows technique. Hinata had been the luckier one, of course. Her affinity was water. Something Kurenai herself could do. Hinata's definitely fit water. She was calm when not threatened, stable when not moved, and cool to the touch, but when enraged, turned into tsunamis, whirlpools, and massive concussive waves. She had good offensive and good defensive and precise control. Unfortunately for her other students, Hinata was the only one she could teach and help her affinity, but she wouldn't be getting a whole huge assortment of water release techniques. Kurenai didn't dabble too far besides one B-rank water technique. The rest were C or D rank. Other than affinities, Kurenai was also trying to teach them more ways to break genjutsu. If she ever got caught, most genjutsu she faced still didn't stop her from using her chakra or a ninjutsu, so she said they needed to learn the chakra suppression technique she wielded. The technique completely suppressed the chakra of the user, disrupting the flow of their chakra, in which all genjutsu she knew needed in order for them to work, in which genjutsu release didn't quite be needed to be used. However, it also meant the user would be susceptible to any other follow-up technique, which means genjutsu release was more ideal. After that took a few hours to get packed down, Kurenai instructed them in another ways to break genjutsu. Most genjutsu could be broken by the genjutsu release technique and screaming kai to break it, but did you know you can not only suppress your chakra to break free of it, but completely release it in a huge wave in order to rip a hole in it? Whoa, really? Naruto asked, amazed. Kurenai nodded yes, a chakra wave can completely destroy a genjutsu, and very possibly hurt the user. So why do we do the genjutsu kai technique more often if that is so? Shino questioned, confused at his beautiful teacher. Why spend time to teach us the genjutsu release technique if that is true? Hinata started, a little hesitant as Naruto and Shino's attention shifted to her, but let it go quickly. Maybe W with doing the technique, there is a downside? Shino nodded, that makes sense. Kurenai smiled, glad you figured it out, Hinata-chan. The girl slightly blushed in praise but did not fumble from it. Yes, while the chakra release technique is more ideal in breaking the genjutsu completely, like the chakra suppression technique, it requires the user to release a huge amount of chakra at once. And most ninjas don't have a huge amount of chakra. Shino nodded at the explanation, finally making sense to him. Kurenai smiled again, quite so. Yes, the chakra release technique leaves the user with a low amount of chakra in the end. And yes, the user can rip holes into genjutsu, even genjutsu stacked on top of another one, like high users of genjutsu like myself are known to use, but with little chakra to work on a counter, what could that do? Smart ninjas without a lot of chakra to work on will use the genjutsu release technique, which is a fusion of the chakra suppression and chakra release technique, while temporarily suppressing their chakra to disrupt the flow, and then release it suddenly again. But the genjutsu release technique can work on genjutsu much slower than the other two if the enemy decides to stack genjutsu on top of genjutsu. However, some ninjas that have high levels of chakra, Naruto grinned at this, and the other members of Team 8 actually nodded evenly at him in silent agreement, most can't. More ninjas also wouldn't choose the chakra suppression technique either, since it leaves them with no ninja abilities at all, so we teach our students to use the genjutsu release technique instead. Is there any other way to counter genjutsu, Kurenai-sensei? Well, Naruto, you could also inflict pain on yourself to break it, though it will probably easier to do genjutsu release. Some Dojutsu can break through genjutsu easily, however, none of you can do it. The Sharingan seems to be the only one that could. Kurenai could have swore she heard Naruto growl after that. Some people actually train themselves to see through genjutsu without any use of Dojutsu like the Sharingan. Finally, you can even cast techniques to obstruct your opponent's view of you. All genjutsu needs the user to be looking at their opponent in order to work. Obstruct their views, and they cannot use it on you. Hoo-hoo! Genjutsu sounds awesome. Can't wait to use it. Naruto loudly declared, bringing one more smile up to Kurenai's face. Now, Naruto. I know you are excited in trying genjutsu, but genjutsu takes years of chakra control beyond yours right now. Kurenai personally didn't like Naruto's face sagging into depression. However, I'll see to you first being able to counter it, and then see if you could do it. Kurenai wondered if Naruto even could do genjutsu. At the time, she was saying stuff to cheer him up. So what, he couldn't do genjutsu? No doubt the boy's chakra control was good, maybe even great, but it had to exceed that, even exceed the word excellent. And she knew his extensive use of the shadow clone technique, which she was starting to tell him that he couldn't use them in sparring. He had no problem with it, but when it came to D-rank missions, she also didn't want him to do it, to which he groaned like hell, much to her slight amusement. In all seriousness, she didn't want Naruto using that technique as much as he did. She knew the problem with the shadow clone technique. Extensive overuse of the technique, and the information gathering of that technique over time could reduce his brain into actual mush. However, she knew Kyubi also could shelter him from such pain and prevent she seeing his training regime at home once, which he created about 24 clones to work on 3 different types of exercises for chakra control, while he himself participated, doing both or a hybrid of either exercise and the leaf concentration one. His training at him was odd. Naruto had no family, had nobody to really look after him. While no doubt she knew the third Hokage and young Naruto had some sort of connection, she also knew it didn't run to the point he willingly would look after Naruto, even if he knew he couldn't. He knew the village was, in the end, more important than Naruto. The needs of many outweighed the needs of one. However, that didn't mean the Hokage never had his eye on Naruto. She knows he wields that crystal ball, a front for a technique to see all that are in the village. He keeps tabs on the Kyubi container, makes sure he stays out of trouble and such. She didn't know who else liked the boy, much less loved him, but he knew he was close to the people at the Ichiraka stand. That elder man and his young 15-year-old daughter. He wasn't as close to them as he was to Sarutobi-sama, but she knew their relationship was beyond the customer and servant relationship. Also, no doubt he was also tight-knitted with Irika Yumino, a Chunin teacher she knew by name. He was like almost a father figure in Naruto's life, or an older brother. Whatever, pray tell. She really knew nothing of Irika, but obviously the man was close to Naruto Uzumaki, the only teacher in the academy he was close to as well. However, she knew Naruto had become her family, and she had become his. Shino and Hinata were too. They were his family now. She knew the boy was lonely, and his craving for one family. Why should she deny him of it? She was like his big sister now, his mentor, his shelter. Even if he couldn't excel in genjutsu, he was well on his way to be a censor or even a medic. She would help him get whatever he needed. Not only him, but Hinata and Shino too. Hinata needed a mentor, a sister figure as well. She needed someone to not only push her, but do it gently. She didn't need a father who harshly harassed her for being what he didn't want her to be. If he heard Hinata learn water release moves, he probably would have flipped out even more with it. Even if she wasn't loved by Hiraishin Hyuga, or even if he never saw her strength, she would mold Hinata into a powerful ninja. She would push her to be stronger and better than before. Shino was passionate in his field, sure, but he was too closed in. He did need to make it more broad if someone could counter his style like a long-range expert who didn't need to get near his bugs. Learning earth release moves would help him completely, increasing his range and possibly making it easier for his bugs to catch his opponent. She would help him do that. She would help them all. But for now, she walked home, smiling at the growth of her students. Kiba Inuzuka wouldn't lie. Today was tiresome and a lot of things happened, but ultimately, he was glad Kakashi-sensei was training them properly. It sucked losing to Bug Boy, but to see Sasuke get handled by dead last Naruto was just depressing. He was personally glad he was fighting, trying out his skills, and moving somewhere doing something. He didn't care so much that he felt like a ragdoll, and Kakashi-sensei pretty much treated him as such today. He was just glad he was getting better. Next time, Shino. I'm not gonna lose. Kiba grinned to himself. Training was definitely gonna be stepped up. Sakura Haruno never felt so much pain in her life. Mental, yes, but physical pain was something she was not accustomed to, not even the academy, where she didn't do so well on the taijutsu classes she had. Today consisted of push-ups, sit-ups, laps around the village and brutal taijutsu drills with Kakashi-sensei. She had never been so out of breath in her life. She was definitely the first to drop to the floor like a damp rag, while Kiba and Sasuke-kun kept at it. Sasuke-kun and Kiba, they were stronger than her by light years, even when they were also chewed out by Kakashi-sensei's taijutsu as well 15 minutes later. She could easily admit they were. After all, they both had better skills in taijutsu than her. She was tired of fighting Kakashi-sensei after a good 20 minutes passed by, while the boys kept going on, closing up the gap between Kakashi-sensei and them faster than her. She never wished for her bed like this in her life. Forget her regular daily treatment of her hair. She was practically limping home. She never wanted to do this again, but she knew this will be the new daily regime. Why couldn't they just derank missions? While she thought to herself about how much she missed them, she was taken away from the thoughts from one annoying voice that ingrained itself into her head. Evening, Sakura-chan. Oh God, why, she thought, more tired than she was before unsurprisingly. She knew that voice, the same that tormented her for years in the academy, pestering her about dates, hangouts and kisses. Naruto Uzumaki practically bounced to her with some type of energy out this world. Pestering presence he held as he walked confidently to her. Frankly, she didn't need this shit. Naruto, I'm not in the mood. Sakura warned, still tired from her tough day. He seemed to steal the last energy she had. Leave me alone. Hee, sorry Sakura-chan. That stupid grin came up on his stupid face. Stupid. Rough day? What the hell you want, idiot? She acidly added. She did warn him, right? He couldn't say anything after she punched his head clean off his shoulders. He wanted to stupidly talk to her while she was caked in dirty and scuffed. His fault he gets screamed at. I just wanted to ask a question, Sakura-chan. Then I'll be out your hair. Naruto again loudly said. Her ears now started to hurt too. Oh God! She finally bellowed. Listen, can't you do that crap later? Ask me out on a date when I'm not having a bad day. And when's that? Naruto's sweat dropped. Move, Naruto. Sakura's patience had been finished. I had enough. She strongly pushed him, while almost stomping off. Hold on. Came Naruto's voice again. She was about to spin kick his weak ass until next week. She didn't give a damn about those lies that he beat Sasuke-kun. He was such an annoyance. Look. I never want to go with you on AD. This isn't about a date, Naruto said seriously, which surprised her, but her shock was changed into another scowl. Then what the hell is it? Have you thought about why you want to be a ninja? Naruto cryptically said. WHWHA dash? Sakura sputtered. He came out to ask that? What the dash? Naruto shrugged. I was thinking since yesterday about that when our teams were sparring, when you lost to Hinata-chan. Sakura growled, don't remind me. We'll kick her ass next time, cha! Inner Sakura's persona came up, wildly proclaiming, much angry at their defeat by the shy girl. I'll be honest, Sakura-chan, you need training. How dare he? How dare he come out here, when she was weak and tired to just say that to her like that? Especially when he was weaker than her. How dare he? She was already cocking her fist back and let it go, hoping to catch Naruto good. Uncharacteristically, Naruto caught her fist, and an even more uncharacteristic small frown came on his face. She growled, and gritted through her teeth, let go. No. Naruto. I swear if you don't dash. Calm down, Sakura. Naruto dropped his annoying suffix, his serious grimace finally completely overtaking. Listen, I'm here for a reason. And this is to help you. Help me? Maybe you need to help yourself. Naruto ignored Sakura's jab seemingly. Look, all I ask you is this. How did you get beaten by Hinata? She just took me by surprise. No. Not by that. You underestimated her. Naruto's frown deepened. You overestimated yourself. You thought Hinata was weaker than you, and too shy to fight. How dare you dash? Stop struggling. His grip became more firm. Sakura was even more surprised by his strength. I'm telling you need more training because you do. None of us on Team 8 are weak anymore. Even me. We've been training in and out since we graduated. Hinata, Shino and me. All of us. We want to become better ninjas. We want to strive. You're saying I don't want to be a better ninja? Sakura glared, anger at him growing at new heights. Naruto let out a small smile. I'm saying you need to let go of the things that is stopping your growth. What would you know about my growth? We're not even on the same team. I'm telling you this based on what I saw yesterday. You're too dictated by anger, Sakura. You have little durability, Naruto said, further making her wince and growled defiantly. If you want to become stronger, work hard on it. Sakura scoffed, since when you became my teacher? Naruto grinned, well, I'm not, but if you want, I can show you some pointers here and there. Sakura growled again, not a chance. The thought of Naruto training her sicked her to no end. Sasuke-kun was better than him. Why was he acting like he was high and mighty? Naruto shrugged, now grinning that stupid grin again. At least I tried. Naruto let go of her hand, and he backed off, just opted to stare in Sakura's emerald angry eyes. Take my advice though, figure out why you wanted to become a ninja first. Then figure out if you want to become stronger. I understand how you feel. Sakura's eyes widened. For a very long time, I didn't know why I wanted to become a ninja, but then I did. I was to protect my precious people. Protect his precious people? Sakura never heard Naruto say that? Didn't he want to become Hokage? What happened to that? Naruto smiled, you're one of my precious people. Sakura had the decency to blush. She was one of his precious people. What do you mean? Naruto's smile gotten wider. Think about that a little, Sakura. Whenever you figure out why you wanted to become a ninja, come seek me out. And with that, Naruto walked away, his hands in his atrocious orange jacket. Sakura did nothing but watch him walk away, him slowly adding more distance between them until he disappeared completely from her vision. So all he came here to ask why she was a ninja? Really? Heh, the idiot. And then he made her blush with his stupid comment about precious people. He should pay for that. She could have knocked his ass out until next week with his comments about her being weak. It hurt listening it to the supposed dead lass saying she needed training when he needed it himself, damn it. However, she didn't. She just stood there and watched as he walked away. Then many questions came to her head that second. Why did he come here? What's his agenda? Who was that? But those thoughts quickly dissolved as they were replaced by the one thought for herself. Why did I want to become a ninja? And with that, Sakura found strength to somehow walk down the path to her home again. The first thoughts in years that did not involve Sasuke Uchiha at all. Naruto grinned, watching Sakura return to her house. Kakashi-sensei would probably be praising him now. The girl was being pushed by Kakashi-sensei, but she needed the words, not the actions. She wasn't like him. She needed to hear it herself. Although he himself knew he could have chose better words, he knew sugarcoating it would not help it. The girl needed to be a warrior, strong as she was in the future, possibly stronger. She needed to overthrow any feels of doubt and distraction from becoming the best ninja he knew. He needed her by his side to kick Sasuke's ass if he needed to destroy a tree and throw it at someone if he needed her to do it. She was still one of his best friends, and he couldn't see her suffer like this. He did what he felt was right tonight. Sakura was going to grow great. He knew she would be. And he would be here to help if she needed it. 10,000 thoughts ran through the mind of Tazuna the bridge builder as he left his home in a 2-day trip to the Leaf. All of them pointed back to, will my family be safe while I go? Those thoughts got him drunk as soon as he hit the Leaf. He hazily remembered how he got out of his hotel room. The reason he came to this village wasn't on the hope he could score of its world renown, bombshell sake, or get a look at the large and lively village, but rather get help. Help against that bastard plaguing his village like a rat. So he paid for a mission. Not a lot ride on him as much as he would like, not a lot he had period. But he afforded it, with a little bit of coins in his own pocket. The leader of the ninja village nodded, and allowed him to stay for a night more free in his hotel before he could call the team that were going to take him back. He wondered how many would come, how many would take him back. He was not familiar on the ninja system, and how a C-rank mission was, or how many people would escort him. The Hokage didn't quite tell him either. But if they were ninjas, they had to be super ninjas, right? Tazuna groaned, wishing he didn't forget to take a last swing at that great Leaf Village sake before leaving his hotel room. He felt a headache come on. These weren't super ninjas. These were children. He paid almost all the cash in his pocket just for kids? Bah! These little punks are gonna accompany me back to my land? He snorted, rudely saying. Children? What happened to the super ninjas I paid for, Hokage? I assure you, these are the super ninjas you requested. The elder man said, smiling despite Tazuna's rudeness to both the team of ninjas he requested to take him back to the village. It'll be best not to underestimate them. Tazuna snorted, pushing his glasses back to the bridge of his nose. Che! The short yellow one looks like an idiot. What kinda ninja wears orange? Tazuna was glad to know the boy didn't lash out at his rude comment. Naruto felt nostalgia hit him again and again, from the way Tazuna swayed in the room with a drunkard swagger to the way the man insulted him. Different words, sure, but the same dumbass old drunkard of a man who underestimated him reminded him of the good times before his world went to hell. He had to also remember to slap some sense in Inari when he saw them. Then thoughts from Zabuza Momochi to Haku came up in his head and he grinned brightly at them. Team 8 is standing at where Team 7 stood and Tazuna was in the right spot he backed up to when old Naruto was foaming at the mouth for Tazuna, insulting his height, calling for his life. Good times, good times. Still, it hurt when Tazuna insulted his orange jacket. He knew the jacket could make him a good target, but... Damn, did everybody hate orange except him? Kurina Yuhi sighed in relief as her team didn't kill the man with their techniques. It took a lot herself to not strangle him when he said, a woman ninja too. What the hell, Hokage? Sexist, ungrateful old man who not only insulted the Hokage but her team too. She didn't say anything too catty back, however. Her team finally got their first C-rank mission and she herself was not going to mess it up for them because she doesn't like the client. Then it hit her. Their first C-rank mission. God, she could remember hers. What a good feeling to finally get her feet wet. Now it's time to get the genin their feet wet. And the land of waves had lots of that. Hinata didn't know what to think when she came to the training grounds and Kurenai-sensei announced they were taking a break from the usual training regime, and they had been assigned a C-rank mission. She didn't know what it consisted of, but frankly, she wasn't too confident in it. But when she saw Naruto-kun bounce in confidence and happiness from taking a break from those infernal D-rank missions, she couldn't help but longingly look at him with a small smile at his antics. Why couldn't she be as confident in her abilities like he was for himself and even of hers? Naruto-kun had told her, praised her of her abilities and her clan's techniques, in which she almost did not believe until he kept saying it each time they sparred with each other. Naruto-kun wasn't known to tell lies. With her Byakugan, she wouldn't know whether or not he is because then his chakra would have fluctuated. It never did. So she started to believe he was telling the truth, never lying when he said her gentle fist would bring him down if he ever got hit by them. He never quite did. Naruto-kun had been the approving words while her father was the disapproving stares of her power. Ultimately, she didn't know who to believe. But maybe, just maybe Naruto was right? Maybe she was strong, but just needed convincing. Maybe this mission would prove whether or not he was right. Shino had been as neutral as he was to be about this mission, but then his feelings were mixed as more and more time progressed, as long as he thought about it. Inside himself, something about the mission did not seem right. Escorting the bridge builder didn't seem like it was supposed to be. The man obviously walked to Konoha with no problem, but getting back required ninjas? Something did not add up. Did he expect trouble? Bandits on the road were not uncommon, and it was pretty common knowledge that the Land of Waves lacked a ninja village of their own like the Land of Fire had. Maybe the man had been afraid of bandits? If so, he wouldn't think this mission would be much trouble. Bandits were always annoying to dispatch of to a ninja without killing them, but nothing troublesome, he knew. Kurenai-sensei also added that C-rank missions never really consisted of any trouble, in short of one or a few bandit gangs out there trying to scare and rob some people on the road. Seas like this will be a quick 4-day trip from end to the leaf. Something that cut a small hole in his training, but he could spare it. Kurenai-sensei's body was cleaved into several pieces after the demon brothers rose from the puddle and attacked Kurenai-sensei. Yup, just like last time. He could see a small panic rise in Shino's face, but to fall once again, and Hinata's face rose in shock and horror as well, until she noticed Kurenai's chakra just jumped from one place to another with her Byakugan activated. They must figured out she simply used the substitution technique to get out of here, and this became an immediate test of their skills. Naruto's mind snapped back to reality after his thoughts of seeing the demon brothers bringing up good and bad memories. Naruto Uzumaki gasped as two Chunin-level ninjas came from the water puddle that Kakashi-sensei had seen, and gasped at the supposed untimely death of him. He could not hold back his panic, and was stabbed by one of the demon brothers' claw. Poison seeped into the wounds he had on his hand. The killer intent of the Chunin froze him in place, something unexpected even for the yellow Hokage aspirer. But Sasuke Uchiha however had took on the two, no fear in his eyes, with little to no trouble. Throwing a kunai in the shuriken-like chain mechanism and further stopping them, he then stepped on their head, triumph at their defeat. Before the demon brothers could do anything after they hit the release off their chain and could attack their enemies individually, Kakashi-sensei swooped in, applied a brutal headlock on the two Chunin. Naruto had never been so damn embarrassed in his life. The bastard, Sasuke, had one-upped him, gaining praise from Kakashi-sensei and his crush, Sakura-chan. Kakashi scolded Naruto for freezing up in battle, leaving the client and a teammate to fend for themselves, asking him what would happen if he wasn't here. And then Sasuke Uchiha had the gall to then taunt him after Kakashi-sensei said that. "What's the matter, scaredy cat?" Sasuke Uchiha mockingly said to Naruto, smirking at Naruto's defeat. "Naruto, you been poisoned too?" Kakashi sighed, "Let me take a look at." Not going to indulge his rival Sasuke with looking any more weaker, Naruto drew forth a kunai and stabbed himself in the same wound he received from one of the now restrained demon brothers that sat unconscious and tied to a tree nearby. This brought surprise to everybody there in front of him. His own blood pushed out the poison out forcefully, and then with a grave voice, Naruto proclaimed calmly, "I will never again freeze up and leave my friends to fend for themselves." He snapped out the haze and brought forth superior speed that clashed with the missing Nins. Jumping over their cleaving chains, Naruto, like Sasuke had done, sent a kunai into the chain, stopping the mechanism from working, some things never changing. The two ninjas struggled to get it free for a good minute, but they were quickly attacked by a barrage of Hinata's gentle fist, and further incapable of doing anything with close chakra points in their stomachs, chests, their arms and their legs. Shino made sure no more ninjutsu would be used as he used his colony of bugs to hold onto the Chunin's chakra, draining them. The demon brothers then had the misfortune to deal with an annoyed Kurenai Yuhi, who then slammed them to the trees with 2 kicks. With the gentle fist brutalizing their extremities and other body parts, the Aburame's incredible will with his bugs, and the blonde-hair boy whose speed and taijutsu easily clashed with them, the demon brothers collapsed in defeat and unconsciousness, wondering how would they explain to Zabuza-sama that they were defeated by a team consisted of 3 Chunin and 1 Jounin. Kurenai would have congratulated her team by defeating the missing Nin duo and such of a renowned caliber like the Demon Brothers of the Mist, but that was just it. The Demon Brothers of the Mist was from the Mist, Kirigakure. What were Kiri ninjas doing here? This was a C-rank mission they were assigned to, not a B or even now an A-rank mission. If these Chunin just attacked like this in this area, and there wasn't any hidden village here in the Land of Waves, someone must have hired them. However, their target didn't seem to be Team 8, they were just prizes. No, the target was the bridge builder, Tazuna, who seemed to suspect this. So, Tazuna knew ninjas would be after him like this? And only paid for a C-rank mission? Her voice edged to a dangerous level, as she sneered at the older man. Her angry red eyes blared punishment if Tazuna didn't clarify this. Explain this, now? Shit. He was caught. He was hoping he wasn't attacked until at least he hit home. Hell, he was hoping he never got attacked. God. Damn it. And now the woman ninja was glaring at him for his mistake. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Kurenai listened as he told his tale about not having enough cash on him to pay for a B-rank mission, thinking quickly he spent it on booze, rather than save up for it, and he didn't expect someone to send ninjas for his life. Who's after you? She smoothly asked the man, trying not to seep out any new contempt she felt for the man. Well, you see, you've heard the name of Gatu? Gatu? Kurenai looked surprised. Her withering gaze gave away. The multimillionaire Gatu of the Gatu Company? The man gravely nodded. Kurenai's face became a mix of confusion and nervous curiosity. Why is he after you? The man and his operation settled in my town about 2 years ago, when everything went to hell. Our economy was shot down thanks to his businesses in the Land of Waves. As he came into the picture, a monopoly was built for him to benefit from. He uses our shipping waters to ship out drugs, illegal weapons, and whatever his stubby little smuggler's hands can get on. Tazuna growled, he has put an embargo on our country, further preventing trade with other countries, like the Land of Fire or the Land of Rivers. That in turn has made the Land of Waves poor and dependent. He's a no-good crook who will even kill those who oppose him, and we can no longer stand for it. People of my town grown tired of it. That's why we started trying to build a bridge. I'm a bridge builder, the top man in charge of it. We're already disillusioned by the death of our town hero, Kaiza. Tazuna looked down in sadness. And you thought you could simply just pay for the C-rank mission without even warning the Leaf what it was getting into? Kurenai glared, still very angry at Tazuna's foolishness. You could have told the Hokage and he would have sent a team more suited to handle this mission. Can't you see why I did what I did? I was desperate. I didn't think that Konohagakure would even believe my story. He shot back, his own desperation emitting from every one of his sweat beads. With your foolish choice to not try and tell the truth, you have not only endangered the life of myself but also of my team. Kurenai coldly said, not caring about Tazuna's words. Her anger clouded her ability to care about his words. This mission just gotten more complicated now, and we're only slated for a C-rank mission. This has become a B-rank mission now, and could even become an A-rank now. This is a team of genin, not chunin. If you give me a second to explain. We're not doing this mission. What dash? Tazuna started. We're going back to the Leaf and you'll have to do the trip on your own. What? You can't. You're my bodyguards. He screamed in fear. Not anymore. Kurenai shook her head. The moment you signed for a C-rank mission and it turned A-rank is the moment we stopped being your bodyguards. Please. This is about money, right? Look, as soon as the Land of Waves start booming again, I'll pay the Leaf Village in full. 100,000 ryu, 500,000 ryu, hell even 1 million ryu. Just don't leave me out on the road. He pleaded for her forgiveness. Please, Yohi-san. I beg of you and your team, protect me. Don't leave me. Kurenai opened up her mouth for a rebuttal, but then came the shy, timid voice of Hinata Hyuga. Kurenai-sensei, we can't just leave him here. She said as strong as she could, which was as strong as she ever sounded in the years Kurenai knew her. That's right, sensei. We can't leave this old fart here to die. People are after him. Let's do the right thing. Naruto, this is not about doing the right thing. He didn't do the right thing by telling us what really was this mission about. Kurenai said back, frowning at her students. I know how you feel, but if you know how we feel, then you wouldn't be trying to make excuses to go back to the leaf. Naruto shot back. Naruto dash. Kurenai started, annoyed at Naruto accusing her of trying to make excuses. What is it then? You don't want to help? Naruto, do not speak dash. What is Kurenai-sensei? Uzumaki. She finally roared out, her anger at its peak. Do not speak to your commanding officer like that. Naruto quieted down and stood down. His pestering pleading died with his voice. Kurenai sighed, hoping somehow she didn't hurt Naruto's feelings. I'm not trying to be harsh, but you guys aren't ready for this. You're still genin, no matter how strong you are, and yes, you guys did well taking out the demon brothers without much trouble, but they obviously were hired by Gato, and who's to know how many other ninjas that man could have hired. Yes, we ninjas do the best to protect lives before we can destroy them, but to take a mission out of our caliber is foolish. But it's the right thing to. Naruto, Kurenai said again, exasperated. Look, it is the right thing to do, it is, but you guys aren't strong enough to do this mission. We're going back to the village, cause that's the right thing to do with you guys. I'm not gonna risk your lives for this. But what about Tazuna-san? Hinata asked, giving a pitying look to Tazuna. Are we going to just leave him here on the road? No, we're not. Kurenai sighed. We can go back to the village with him, shelter him for the time being, and get a better team to handle this mission, and that's final teammate. Is that alright, Tazuna-san? No, I can't. What? Kurenai sputtered. This man was now not listening to reason either? The man glared at the ninja, defiant at her words. I cannot turn back and wait in the village while your ninjas come and go hunt Gato. Hunting Gato will take days. I cannot. I cannot wait. I cannot when I have a family. I have a daughter and grandson to look after. I refuse to go back and risk them getting hurt by people who are trying to come after me. Tazuna. I am not. Might as well leave me on the road. See, sensei? We can't leave now. And I'm not going to. Naruto defiantly said, crossing his arms. And that's final. Naruto, Kurenai glared at him, can you just? I agree. Kurenai looked up in frustration as the last member of the teammate agreed with Naruto, who kept saying he was gonna to keep on with the mission. Why? You too, Shino? Kurenai-sensei, while I agree that we are possibly not ready to take on this mission, the fact to take Tazuna back and keeping him in the village after this already long walking trip could endanger the lives of his family. There is simply no time to go back to the leaf and request another team to take on this mission. Shino pointed to Tazuna. He is essentially bait. He will draw out Gato's ninjas and we will be ready like we were against the last Chunin we dispatched in a time of 3 minutes. What if these ninjas are exceed the level of Chunin, Shino? Would you rather Tazuna's whole family and possibly the countryside be slaughtered? I believe if we are to fight Chunin level ninja, we can beat them. You may be able to stop 2 Chunin, but what if there were an armada of Chunin? What would you do then? Kurenai questioned with a big frown on her face. How much would be the cost of missing ninja's services, Yuhi-sensei? Astronomical. Uncertainly high. Yes. Missing ninja's services do not come cheap, even for a man of Gato's stature. An armada is highly unlikely. Also, Shino smirked a little, you fail to remember we already have our armada here. Shino pointed to Naruto Uzumaki. And my armada as well. Shino, to Kurenai's snort of amusement, if she wasn't scowling already, pointed to himself. Naruto interjected, trying to help out the intelligent Abirame. Come on, Kurenai-sensei. We can protect him at least until his bridge is built, and we can take out that bastard Gato in the process. So you mean to tell me that not only are we going to protect Tazuna from several possible ninjas, but we are going to kill Gato too? Your argument wasn't help when you added that in. In fact, it made my decision to go back to the leaf even more larger. Kurenai deadpanned. But we can also call for backup, Hinata said, getting Kurenai's plain gaze at her. We can send info back into the village and get a team to help us out. Kurenai raised an eyebrow. Really now? I thought you said it'll take too long getting back to the village. For walking speeds with Tazuna. Naruto helped Hinata again, putting a hand on Hinata's shoulder, bring a light blush on her cheeks. But speeds with my shadow clone, I'll be back in the village by nightfall and tell the Hokage to send back up. Naruto grinned, complete confidence in himself. Kurenai sighed once again, as Naruto kept trying, no. You don't have the necessary speed to do so. But Kurenai put her hand up to stop his response. She sighed again, and much to the surprise of Team 8, a shadow clone was created. My speed outclasses yours by miles, Naruto. I'll reach the village hours before yours. If you three are convinced you can handle this mission, I guess I could give you three a chance. And with backup and another Jounin on the team, that will help. However, next time I say we're not doing this, we're not doing this. She then shot a glare at Tazuna. Be glad my team feels pity for your family. Go ahead. Thank them. Thank you, teammate. Tazuna said, relieved tears pouring down his face. Thank you? No problem. You're welcome. It is of no concern. As her clone made its way off with information of the mission on a scroll she quickly wrote down, she sighed, be ready you three, because I'm sure this mission got a lot of harder. Sarutobi looked in interest as Kurenai Yuhi's shadow clone handed him a scroll and nodded at its information about the trip. He knew Tazuna's request for bodyguards seemed odd for someone who transfers from the land of waves relatively unharmed. He thought the man initially would be afraid of something going back. Ninjas were in the beginning out of the question because there was no hidden village nearby or in the land of waves, but the fact 2 Chunin-level ninjas appeared virtually out of nowhere and attacked Team 8 changed his mind. So Tazuna lied because he was too afraid to ask the Leaf of a favor? The third knew the land of waves cut off their trading ties with Konohagakure due to unknown means, until he learned of Gatu, the man behind millions in the Platinum Gatu Company, ruled over Wave Country with an iron fist. He always believed it was simply a front, his company, for drugs, illegal goods and prostitution rings, but Konohagakure had no reasons to step in, even if the land of waves was a good trader buddy for Konohagakure. Now, however, his decision could benefit or destroy the lives of the land of waves. Now, he could do something about it. The land of waves was neutral territory, and its daimyo could agree with this. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Free the wave and earn back their trading, and kill the man who perverted companies and countries because of his influence. It was the right thing to do, even if Team 8 was still inexperienced. He smiled at their resolve to even convince their teacher to help this poor man. No doubt Naruto had influence in this. But they will need backup. Sarutobi then smirked. And I know just whose team to send. With a snap, one of his A and B came from the shadows with a bear mask on. Sir. Kuma, retrieve Kakashi Hatake. I would like to have a word with him. Hey everybody. Kakashi smiled, as Team 8 finally burned out their fire from last night, and finally put down their tents. Kakashi-sensei? You're our backup? Naruto asked, confused. Then he looked behind him, even more confused. Where's the rest of your team? I am it. Kakashi grinned. I get a little